Hello there, everyone. How are we all? I'm a little bit drunky poos. Second batch of the Kev tonight. It's all good. Hang on, what the fuck am I doing? That is a stiff dick of poop. It is a stiff dick of poop. You're quite right. A wise man once said that. Yes, I went to the football. It was fucking dreadful. Like, for real. It was a 0-0 draw. So we got a point, so like that's something, I guess. But like, it was one of the worst games of football I've ever experienced. I don't know if either team got a fucking a shot on target in the whole game. It was so I just got drunk instead. Anyway, so we've got that coming, right? No, we haven't got that coming. That's happened. That's already happened. Anyway, and so we're doing the hippy dippy, right? Thank you, Cupcake Chaos, for gifting a sub to the actual Karl Marx, who I didn't even know was on Twitch, but there we go. It's a beautiful thing. The actual Karl Marx is in chat. Oh, hello, actual Karl Marx. Apologies. I thought it was one of those things. For those who don't know, sometimes people gift subs to like Robert Mugabe because there's just someone called Robert Mugabe on the site or whatever. Robert Mugabe. Who remembers Robert Mugabe? That's when Peter Kay gets a bit political. Hey, what were up with that Robert Mugabe? Do you remember him? That one mental. Roller Caller, and Robert Mugabe. It's nearly 1 in the morning. No one's getting these fucking English references, you cunt. Jesus. Anyway, so we're doing Hippy Dippy. Anyway, that's the thing we're doing. Anyway, right. So we're doing that. Oh, I've got to sort my camera out, haven't I? I turned the camera off, right? Because you can only have one feed of the thing, which I need for the Discord, so that I can have my lovely face on the screen for everybody. So I need to configure the video screen. Hello, everyone. You'll see my face again later. Don't worry. Why did you even bother? Bunny in the box. I don't know why I bothered. I don't know why I bothered. We got a point though, so you know. Whatevs. So anyway, yeah, Hippy Dippy. I'm on doing the Hippy Dippy. So, but that's what's happening. Okay, that's what's happening, mate. You can hit the follow button. You can subscribe. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. You can do bits messages. 200 bits or more gets you a text to speech. 200 bits or more gets you a text to speech. You can do. Oh shit! What else can you do? Oh, I have enough trouble with this when I'm sober, man. You can help me out on Patreon monthly. You can go over to the Discord. You can finger me sideways with a barbed wire fist of doom. I don't know. You can have YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, TikTok. Cancer. Fucking brain cancer. Yeah, honestly, Bunny in the Box, mate, is... yeah. Fucking awful. The Blues are absolute fucking shite. It's a point, though, I guess. Fucking hell. Worst game of football I've seen for years. Anyway. So, yeah. They're doing like a pre-show thing at the minute, so we might as well dip into that and see what's the haps. Basically. There you go. So they've got Jake, and then... do you remember this guy, Kevin Castley? The Warhawk guy? The fucking... NATO's awesome and should bomb everywhere guy. Yeah, that's fun times. And then Dylan. So let's dip in and see what they're up to. This hasn't actually started yet, by the way. It's just gonna go in.
Needs it now more than ever as we are gripped.
So you're saying that this should not be a one-off. This should be the start of a glorious return.
You got to bring it back. Like,
do people miss Hippy Dippy? Do people really miss it?
Yeah. The people miss Hippy Dippy across communities, across politics.
I mean, I want it back because it's a bit of fun.
Get some help.
Like, people are acting like it's some great big thing, and it's honestly the Hippy Dippy was and will continue to be cancer. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm here for a bit of cancer. Got no problem with the cancer, but what I will say is that it's people screaming at each other on the internet. The only good thing that ever came of it, as far as I can see, is my James from the Internet wanker emote, which if you subscribe to my channel, you can use. Which was from him calling... what's his name? The fucking prick. What's his name he was calling a wanker? The guy. I've forgotten his fucking name now. Anyway. That guy, he was calling him a wanker. Hi, comrade, I'm over here. Can I stay here? But you can always stay here, Mad Cat. You're more than welcome. Thank you, Loopy Mike, for resubscribing for 17 months. Good lord. Thank you, Sundry Clowncar, for gifting us. We're on a hype train. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I will finger the concept of debate. I will. I'll do it. Don't fucking test me. Sunsol, that was it. Yeah, James from the Internet calling Sunsol a wanker. Which is pretty funny. Yeah, this is England. TIE, bitches. TIE. This is England. Anyway, so there's that. Also on the Discourse, I saw...
It's a stiff dick of poop.
It is a stiff dick of poop, you're quite right. This was quite funny. Someone did an edit of the thing. And so they took out Alex Stein and put me there, which is nice. And then Vosh's Cats, because that's where I was, but it's been replaced with Vosh's Cats, which I'm happy with. I'm cool with that. By the way, I'm definitely going to get voted out like straight away on this, right? So it's starting in basically now, and then I'm on at 9, so I'm on like an hour into it. I'm going to get voted out after the first half hour, 100%, because there's big names. Look at the names here: Vosh, Adam something, Chud Logic, Connor Points. Like these are bigger streamers than me. They're 100% I'm gonna get voted out. Which look, whatever.
Navigator did some amazing work on that poster revision.
True. Thank you, Navigator. You absolute ledge. Thank you, Wayward Historian, for gifting a sub to Joe the Cop, otherwise known as Aspiring Ally. Thank you, Wayward Historian with bits. Thank you, Loopy Mike with lots of bits. Thank you to everyone. We're on weird. Yeah, the hype train is going splendiferously, and I appreciate that enormously. Thank you. Yeah. So, oh, they've started.
He does videos with trains, lots of trains.
How long ago
Aircraft
is this?
Sparky.
Oh, lecture fan.
Yeah, here to pull out puppets, baby. We'll see.
Aircraft Sparky. I wonder which ethnic minority he's going to claim the US should nuke this time. That's a thing he's done before.
Fabian Liberty.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Fabian Liberty.
Kraut.
Literally backward.
Hey, morning. Dylan's editor just woke me up. I don't know what this is.
Fantastic. Lecture fan.
Yeah, I'm lecture fan. I'm a lawyer, practicing lawyer. I stream on Twitch
I kept
every
searching
night.
for you in the
I'm
names in your
conservative,
notification because I just
funny on
assumed
X,
you wouldn't be portrait level.
Fantastic. And Vouch, I think.
I kept searching in the names.
Yeah,
in your
I'm
notification.
Vouch. I'm here to wrestle up some good discourse.
Wrestle.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what that means, Marcus, but I appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you. Thank you for bits. Kind of curious to see how Pixels Mixel performs. I've never seen her do more than read news and sing. Excited to see her flex. I've been on with her before, right? I've been actually. I think that's how I met her online, as it were. Like I knew of her existence, but the first time I ever talked to her was on Hippy Dippy, and she did really well. She's a sensible and lovely person. She's not really cut out for the screamy, which unfortunately is kind of the forte of the Hippy Dippy, but there we go. Oh, Loopy Mike with 10 gifted subs. I'm going to do a crab dance later. I'm going to do a crab dance for you. Just for you. No one else gets to watch. Just you. No, I'm only joking. Actual Jake did the intro but was bowed out. Yeah, they were doing like a pre-show thing. Oh, is this the race, the right-wing Santa guy?
Yes. I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
I'll be fine. No one's ever got hurt in a war. So we're gonna get into the first topic. The first topic today, speaking of war, has to do with American aid to allies and whether the United States should continue to provide aid to allies. This, of course, is being talked about a lot because of the over $100 billion aid package to, while primarily Ukraine, also includes aid to Israel, also includes aid to Taiwan and some security investments in the Indo-Pacific region, primarily put there to counter Chinese naval expansion. And my question to all of you guys is foreign aid a worthy investment from the United States? And you can talk about any of these aid packages or any parts of the recent aid packages that you want to when talking about it. But of course, remember, we have short amounts of time, so try to keep things punchy, okay? And we're going to leave it to the room. Who wants to go first?
I'll do it. Fuck it.
Okay, Sparky.
Alrighty. Plain and simple. We concern ourselves more with other countries' borders than our own. Until we take care of our own borders, no one should get a dime.
That is a stiff dick.
Okay,
Well,
there you go.
thanks.
Anybody wants to take that?
Thanks for that amazing input there, Aircraft Sparker.
I think foreign aid is where it meets, where you can make it clearly defined alignment with our objectives and goals as a nation protecting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Marcus, I got you.
Or democracies
Cool.
or fair trade, reasonable fair trade.
Thank you, Wayward Historian,
I
for
think
gifting
that
us
you
up
can
to
make the
Radio
case for that. I
Yerevan.
think, the
That's
Ukraine
Armenia,
issue,
isn't it?
While I'm generally supportive of anybody who is against Russia, I think
Yeah, the
The
racist
problem
Santa
that a lot of
guy
people
cut his
start doing
beard.
with Ukraine aid is that
Look,
there's not enough
racist Santa cut his fucking beard.
oversight.
Furious.
The chances the amount of corruption that exists within
Absolutely
the government
gutted.
structure is still pretty significant, and there hasn't been a good accounting for it. So, I think we need to have good controls over the audit process.
Shut up,
regardless of
racist
whoever we
Santa.
provide aid to,
Literally just
and
shut up.
we need to make sure that we have a very finite, defined mission objective before we give anybody money.
Okay. Can we throw it to somebody who maybe takes a different perspective than these two? I don't want to just have all the same people agreeing.
Conservative
My
freaks.
pleasure. No country is an island. We all benefit from global stability. International relations and diplomacy are a preferable substitute to war. There is no way to wall yourself off from the rest of the world, and so long as the rest of the world is a part of the one that we're on, we need to be concerned with its stability. Foreign aid is a great idea. We should do it. We should do lots of it. We should ingratiate countries to ourselves, make ourselves look strong, the shining city on the hill. It's good for America. It's good for everyone. Of course, you got to do it for the right reasons. I think Israel is making particularly poor use of our money right now. But generally speaking, yeah, there's no way to just wall yourself off. The world comes crumbling down due to instability. That hits us too. So we got to be responsible stewards of the power we have, which is, at this moment, quite a bit.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting to see how socialists always have this same notion where
Is it still too soon?
libertarians or limited government types don't want the government to do something, and so the claim always becomes that. And
ANCAP is speaking. We don't need to listen.
It's as if the socialists believe.
Thank you, Wayward Historian, with 1066. Too soon, bitties. Yes.
It's a fallacious argument that Vosh is making. This
Well,
idea
you
that
can
there is
filate me.
either we wall ourselves off from the world, or we spend money that is completely wasted in inefficacious ways towards foreign aid, which is which can be done better via charity and private industry, and by, as you know, more.
Yeah, I'm sure all of the charity would definitely have bought Stinger missiles and tanks. I'm sure a lot of charity would have bought a lot of Tiger tanks for the Ukrainians. You absolute bumblefuck.
And we just kind of do it year over year over year, or we're going to fund never-ending wars without any accountability or, almost a complete lack of oversight, to the tune of $500,000 for every upper middle-class family, is absurd and stupid.
In Europe, we had something that we called the peace dividend, which was when the Cold War ended. We assumed there would never be a large land war in Europe ever again. As a consequence, almost all countries here cut their military budgets, and then we either invested the surplus money into social development, social programs, or we cut taxes. And now we all have egg on our face. There's only very few countries in Europe that didn't cut their military spending, like Greece, Norway, and Poland. They don't have egg on their face. The brutal reality that we in Europe face right now is that we have to build up our militaries and our defenses again, that we have to be able to face off an aggressor country that wants to divide up Europe into spheres of influence.
Also, I'd like to point something out here.
Well, can we let Kraut finish his statement quick, and then we'll throw it over to Anarchy?
Okay. In this moment of crisis, we have no choice but to ask the Americans to send us weapons, because we don't even have enough of our own. Because we neglected defense industry to such a point that it's proving difficult to gear up the factories again to make basic ammunitions. We're not just taking aid from the Americans, we're also taking from the Canadians, the Australians, the Japanese, the Koreans. The Koreans have been especially gracious, giving us 1 million artillery shells for the Ukrainians, which is, and I want to point this out, the aid isn't money. It's literally physical shells, it's guns, it's tanks, stuff like that. And the only counter proposal that I can make to those who criticize it is, yes, we're currently taking your aid, but we will be gearing up our own defense again.
Okay, that got a bit weird. Thank you, Marcus Drake, with 100 bits, who says, friendly reminder, while the US gives most in charity and international aid, we give most amongst of the industrialized nations as a percentage of GDP, because of course we do. Who's we in this scenario, Marcus? I don't know where you're from. You probably have told me in the past, but I have no idea. So who is we give amongst the least? Are you from the US? It would insinuate you are, but I don't know.
The largest geopolitical threat in Europe, or at least heavily damaged it. You've rendered it completely incapable of challenging the United States in the world hegemon game, if you want to use the term, without a single American citizen who didn't volunteer for Ukraine directly dying, not a single active duty US military person beyond special operations who we don't know about being deployed.
I apologise for this outbreak
and you've
of Australian.
spent what amounts to just under 2% of your entire budget for 1 year. You've spent less than 20% of your discretionary defense budget to destroy something like 3,000 tanks, 5,000 APCs, kill 100,000 Russians, and you've done basically nothing. You've done nothing. In fact, you've saved money. The other big issue for me is when you're talking about aid to Ukraine in terms of material aid, a lot of the weapons and stuff that the United States has sent have been from their reserves and stockpiles. You are paying people to maintain these. You are paying private companies to maintain these using government money. They are no longer needed to be maintained in those boneyards and those storage facilities because guess what?
Marcus,
they're out doing what they were built to do, which is kill Russians. Now, on the next side of things, you're going to need to replace that. Europe is going to need to replace all the aid.
Okay, but I do want to say, just do try to tend to wrap it up because we only have so many people and so many time.
Okay, in which case, let me put it this way. Long story short, all that money is going back to the private sector. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, they're going to make a killing. They're going to employ Americans.
Quite literally.
And those Americans are going to pay taxes. They're going to spend money. They're going to buy shit. And that's good.
Don't forget 10% off on your drone strikes at raytheon.com/KevKev's massive cock.
Take out all the other factors. It's just a win.
After Adam something, may I respond to this absurd retard?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Straight away. Literally only.
Adam, I'm gonna ask to you wait a moment. Have Fabian just directly respond to make it easier. Okay.
Anyway, thank you for the hype train, everyone. Much love.
Super quick, right? So the idea that you attack the idea of an ANCAP being anti-war, to be pro-war for Lockheed Martin really shows that you don't know what ANCAP is. But setting all of that aside, the idea that it is a good investment. That we can look at how much money is spent and then calculate it afterwards is, a very poor misunderstanding of economic theory. The market is
an ANCAP having a go at someone else for not understanding economic theory is delicious.
The state cannot solve the economic calculation problem. The state is incapable of solving the local knowledge problem. And so that money is going to be wasted. And of course, it's going to end up in the coffers of fucking Lockheed Martin. And no ANCAP or most Americans fucking want that. And the idea that, oh, well, don't worry, it'll create jobs. I mean, that might work. Job creation might work on fucking, 1980s and 1990s conservatives that would vote for this dumb idea of like, it'll create jobs, but it doesn't work on me, buddy. Like, no.
Private economy enjoys when private corporations make profits.
Okay, so Anarchy, if you wanted to respond to that, we can give you an opportunity to respond to that, or we can just throw it straight over to Adam something.
State money. Like, shut up. Like, so stupid.
No, it's a straightforward calculation. It's a straightforward calculation. The United States is spending, proportion to what it has, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's barely spending anything compared out of its total budget. And what it's generating in terms of a geopolitical result, you're getting your money's worth easily. And yeah, sure, you can talk about the dubious morality. We've got photographs. We've got photographs of.
Can I jump in on this?
That's not how basic economics works.
Wait, okay, wait a second. Okay. Adam something, I love you, but I'm going to have Vosh quickly comment, then I'm throwing it to you. It's just as part of the same channel.
My handsome friend Adam something, to whom I cede every moment but this one. If we're going to center the discussion, it should be on reality, not fantasy. Every country on the world has a state. Every country in the world's state manages its own resources, including war. The idea that the argument here would be about, oh, what if the private sector did for it? What if the market decided? The system exists. We live in a global economy. Turns out corporations benefit from a state that protects them.
That's not
that
an
establishes
argument.
a system by which they're defended. Yeah, the argument that I'm making is that you don't have one. What is this? Like, can you point to any place in the world where the state has? Well, hold.
We only have so much time. Sure. We only have so much time. I'm going to let Vosh finish his question, and then I'll give you Fabian, and I'm so sorry, like 10, 50 seconds respond. Then I have to throw it to Adam. He's just been waiting
It's just
patiently.
I'm feeling up my crystal ball right now, and I'm foreseeing 57 questions that are answered. But what if we let the private market do more in some abstract, nebulous way that's never been done because it doesn't work? I cede everything to Adam. Somebody with something interesting to say on the subject.
Oh,
well, thank you.
I ceded.
Nice.
I ceded.
Nice.
The conscious move.
Wait. I said I would give Fabian 10 seconds to respond. He gets 10 seconds to respond, then Adam.
Yeah, of course the socialist wants us to have more government. Of course the ANCAP wants us to have less government. Except I didn't make the argument from a non-government anarchist perspective. You just randomly said dumb shit to attack ANCAP.
No, you did. You literally said that charity could handle this because you're an idiot.
It sounds a bit like those like Twitter tanky lefties but he just uses market instead of like a communist manifesto or something. It's very funny. Anyway, so
make a fucking argument.
I'm on it. Okay, so just be patient. So the arguments for supporting Ukraine, for example, from the pure business perspective, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer, right? So one of the main export materials of the U.S. is security and stability, which the U.S. accomplishes through its military. And this, of course, has a number of easy to see positive business effects. Peace and stability, it turns out, is good for a business. It is good for investment, right? This is a no-brainer. Also, the Ukraine war is a great advertisement for the U.S. weapons industry. You know, when you see those thousands of Russian hardware burning, just like torched by not even top-notch U.S. hardware, but like just like 20, 30-year-old stuff. That's great for the U.S. economy. Now, you might be salty about the fact that I don't know, Raytheon or whatever, or like very heavily state adjacent / these like mammoth corporations. But yeah, that's how the economy works currently. That's how you achieve growth. You know, so if you're not some like unless you're some kind of a degrowth weirdo, then you should be happy about this, right? The other thing is weapon aid. One second. Weapon aid. When they say, okay, we sent Ukraine, $5 billion worth of aid, that's not $5 billion. That's $5 billion worth of aid calculated based on the pre-existing stuff that you guys send them, right? So if we send them like 500 M113 APCs or something, well, then that's calculated into a
You've only had $8 different white guys apart.
Even though those
vehicles, only half of them
have been used by the US military before, they've been retired, they have served their time, and now they're just passing them off to someone. That comes out as a monetary item. On a budget sheet. Meanwhile, in reality, it doesn't really mean an actual expense for the U.S.
Okay, sorry, wait 1 second. I need to take a pro-business position as well. Hippy Dippy has made one change financially, and that is in between topics. The #1 donor between topics will be able to ask the cast one question. If I'm going to bring back Hippy Dippy and herd these cats, I'm going to make money. I'm demonetized, okay? Continuing, I want to throw it over to, I'm sorry, Fabian, but you got a lot of back and forth. I want to make sure Lecture Fan gets to talk. Lecture Fan, and then Kraut, and I have MPU written. Don't worry.
Well, I think this whole discussion is kind of missing the main point. I mean, Vosh started off by saying, oh, foreign aid, good, it can be good. And it's like, well, yeah, we've always done foreign aid. People always forget the entire reason we even have a federal government is to handle military foreign policy. But of course, nobody addressed Aircraft Sparky's perfectly reasonable point, More Perfect Union's perfectly reasonable point. And so you're just glossing over these points where it's like, oh yeah, foreign aid good, but it's like we're broke for one, we don't have any money. Number two, everybody sort of agrees with that, and the Australian guy, Anna Markey, was perfectly correct to say it's a drop in the bucket. We spend $100 billion on Ukraine. We spend over $6 trillion on a federal budget, so it is a drop in the bucket. But you've got a problem here where we're broke. There's inflation out of control. We don't have our own border secure, so you can say that foreign aid is good. And I support foreign aid when it can be afforded, when we can pay for it, when it benefits United States national security, when foreign aid can be used to establish and prolong American military dominance, economic dominance, cultural dominance. So foreign aid can absolutely be good. But you're simply not going to get it with a GOP Congress, which we have right now, if you guys don't address the border and you left this, oh yeah, great, yeah, more foreign aid, and let's just leave the border open and let's not do anything to try to balance the budget. That's a loser argument.
How is the U.S. broke? Can you enlighten us, please?
Yeah, we're $34 trillion in debt and we're running $2 trillion deficits every year, and Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security are going bankrupt in 8 years, if you didn't know.
I just wanted to comment on the idea that we should let the markets decide which country deserves military aid and which one doesn't. There was a time in which that was actually legal and permitted before the First World War. Corporations, companies, you name it, could go out there into a conflict zone and decide, hey, we want to support this certain party in a war because we want that party to win. There's a very famous example of this. The British textile and cotton weaving industry bought a warship for the Confederacy, wanted the Confederacy to win the Civil War because slavery was very profitable for their industry and they wanted to keep
No,
the
Britain did
profits
nothing
up.
wrong.
Another example is
we didn't
not
do
so
nothing.
famous.
And the French helped us in the revolution. Like, what the fuck is your point?
A group, well, the French were a government and not a corporation. A group of Wall Street bankers gave huge war loans to the Japanese in the Japanese-Russian War because they wanted Korean railroads concessions. When you let
massive corporations, like, you ever read War is Hell by Smedley Butler?
When you let,
you have to calm down, dude.
When you let markets,
you have to calm down a bit, alright? Just lift the wine a bit, dude.
The decision to support a country, a conflict partner in the war, is not a market decision. It is a political decision. It is a decision based on values, a decision based on ideas, on ideals, on what you believe in. If you let the market decide which side,
I also think it's very funny that his property is liberty thing is the wrong way around because he's flipped the camera.
Used to say that the corporation would not support Russia in return for oil drilling and mining concessions in Siberia.
Also, wait, like, isn't Russia supposed to be like the nightmare of fucking ANCAPs? Like, Russia basically stole hundreds of jets when the sanctions hit. Like, they just like appropriated them. They appropriated Western property, and they
Russia.
Hey, yeah,
like,
sure. And so you're now knocking them, and we're now knocking them out.
Sounds
like
you
dislike. We're now knocking them out. We're now knocking out Russia.
We only have so much time left in this round, so I want to make sure that Adam something gets to finish his statement, and then we get to get anybody that has anything left they want to quickly get out. So.
Sure. All right. So Fabian has that nice plague behind him saying property is liberty. Well, then Russia has violated the #1 golden rule of ANCAP-ism, I guess. Property. They stole Western property. They just appropriate everything. So now
I don't like Russia.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good. So now,
they violated the NAP
in support of sending Ukraine aid because then we are.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he's got one insult.
It's not retarded, really. I mean, if you think that's retarded, I mean, the problem is in your device, dude. Also, one thing.
Not liking Russia doesn't mean I have to support fucking stealing money from the American people.
That's what I want to bring up. One point that I want to address: the unaccountable weapon transfers and corruption. Like, guys, like every fucking piece of equipment that gets sent to Ukraine is documented really solidly, and we know where those are. Like, it's not just like you're sending stuff into Ukraine, it fucking disappears. It doesn't work like that. Actually, and if you actually look,
I want to add.
Okay, quickly.
I thought I'd be interrupting the other guys.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure after Vosh goes, we go MPU and Sparky because they've been waiting for a little bit.
Alan, can I go quickly and brush?
I just want to say really quickly with respect to
yes, you can go.
It's a tough job, Dylan.
Continue. Yeah, sorry, I was.
He's a big unit, isn't he? Craig.
Right, hall monitor pass. Yeah, with regards to the previous topic, it's worth noting that the crisis we're currently having at our southern border is in large part a product of instability that we've either ignored or facilitated in Latin America. Our drug policies and the policies that we've had since lessening it have contributed to the rise and strength of the cartels, the instability in Latin America, a large part of foreign intervention, or at the very least complacency on our part. Likewise, the refugee crisis in Syria, direct product of our meddling. Everything that happened with Assad and his government, his predecessor, we had a lot to do with that. Now, that's not to say that we deserve any. Well, hold your horses.
No,
you're learning the
he has
the
to
wrong lesson.
fucking interrupt all the time. Fabian Liberty's a prick.
Is that the affairs of other countries and their well-being reflect on our well-being? We're not an island. So if countries near us are prosperous
America
and wealthy,
does have islands,
we don't worry about refugees from Canada, do we? So what we should be concerned with is global stability. If we really are that great, and I, as a lover of America, I think we are, then we should try to see the world through. Make it a better place than it was when we were founded. Try to ensure, for our sake as well as theirs, that when changes are made, they're for everyone's betterment. Because if other things go poorly, if other countries fall apart, we do pay a price for that, both in the stability of our markets, the stability of our borders. We need to be concerned with their well-being, at least for selfish reasons. Now, humanitarian reasons, I think, are also pretty valid there, but if you're only concerned with the selfish ones, that's something that you should take in consideration.
Global stability, good. We agree. Global stability is good. We can agree on that.
MPU,
very,
I believe you've been waiting for quite a while.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I think Vosh would like to, give the world a Coke and teach us all how to sing.
I don't like Coke.
Oh, well.
Look,
the problem with the southern
More of a
border
heroin guy.
is that we have laws on the books
So he lost all that weight.
regulate immigration. Those laws are being violated by non-government agencies who bring people across the border. They coach them on how to say that they have a credible fear or threat. They're economic migrants. And they're not asylees, right? They're not asylum seekers. They're not valid asylum claims. 98% plus of the people who come across the southern border, who are from Latin American countries, are not valid asylum seekers. And then on top of that, we have hundreds, if not thousands, of people who have come across the border who are known. They're known to be affiliated with terror organizations. We have
ISIS. They're all ISIS.
Tens of
Hamas.
thousands.
Yeah.
Tens of, I don't know. I think there was a Hamas person who tried to get, who tried to come through the northern border. Just
he's literally doing the bit.
Gotta lock that one down.
There's the Chinese. There are single Chinese men of military age. Okay, who are coming through the southern border. You basically just have to get. You just have to get to Mexico, and then you basically can get into the United States for free. Right?
Yeah, it's that
and
easy.
Then there's
yeah.
they're not even doing DNA testing. What?
What does this
Where are
have
you
to
getting
do
these
with
figures
Ukraine?
from? Like 98% are economic migrants and not asylums. Like, where are you getting those figures?
Did you get it from? Did you get it on Facebook or something?
No, 98% of the people who go through asylum. This is what the federal government puts out. Okay.
Yeah, but are they either? Is there either such
Okay,
a
so
giant
I'm gonna have to put a pin on this.
documented at all?
I gotta put a pin on. I gotta put a pin on this because
exactly the
time has ran out, and we do have a bunch of people waiting. Obviously, we're going through a bunch of people today, so I do need to do the 2 kicks, and I have gotten who is being kicked this round. So I'm gonna throw it out there, and I'm very sorry, Anarchy. This round, the judges have decided that you have been eliminated, probably because of your Australianness.
Anti-Australian hatred.
I am very sorry. I hope to see you next time. You have a good one, okay, man?
Fair enough.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I love you. We're going to play Hell Let Loose later. Bye. Okay.
Be well.
And the other one is Sparky. I'm very sorry, Sparky. You were thrown over the top rope.
So Sparky made the best point. Sparky, you made the best point of anybody on this topic.
Shut up, lecture fan, you absolute bell piece.
That's okay. Thank you for having me. Have a good night.
Okay, you have a good one, man.
Balls to open.
Yeah, he did have the balls to open, and I do respect that. I do want to throw that out there. Yeah.
No, that was good. That's
By the way, apparently the judge told me it wasn't an easy decision. They liked everybody. Okay, so, we're bringing in 2 more people. It is going to be Chud Logic and Alex Stein. If any of you are familiar with Alex Stein from his AOC antics or his new show that he has. By the way, if anybody wants to get the mid-portion questions, you donate now. Largest donations will be coming up after the next break. We'll be asking the hosts, the guests today, those questions submitted by the viewers. Now we're going to continue where we left off. Who wants to pick us back up?
Oh, same topic?
Yeah, same topic, but quickly I'll have Chud Logic. I guess if you would
Okay, let me cut to the chase. Okay, it's all fucking boring foreign policy shit. Okay, Dylan, right? Very rich that you come up with this topic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
When allegedly you went to Ukraine on the Ukrainian dime to run through Ukrainian pussy.
That
Answer
is
to
true.
that.
It was bussy, actually.
How many whores have you run through?
Progressive.
I lost count, of course.
Okay.
Dylan's been running through those war widows like a goddamn racer.
Exactly. Your house got blown up. Come around my place and you can stay here for a little bit. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Chud Logic, for coming, and thank you, Alex Stein, for coming on today. So who wants to actually pick us back up?
No, I mean, I think that's a fair point, that foreign aid has only become a controversial
Why is he so fucking quiet?
have pointed out how hypocritical and preposterous
I'm not turning him down
to
there.
spend hundreds of billions on other countries when we have a wide open border. That's the only reason this is controversial. The United States has utilized foreign aid for our benefit, to do what's best for America, to serve our interests, to promote American value. We've done that for decades, for centuries. It's been fine. The only reason it's a controversy now is because the Democrats and Joe Biden and all these leftist organizations have a wide open border, and More Perfect Union is 100% right. These are all fraudulent asylum claims.
All of them.
Being abused.
It's gone from 98% to
NGOs are training
100%.
these people how to file fraudulent claims. Joe Biden's administration, the Democrats, literally just gave one of these fraudulent asylum claimants a court date in 2030, and they're not going to show up. And when they do show up, 98% of them get denied, and then they're here and they've got babies and everything else. That's the only reason this topic's even a controversial topic right now.
It's just a
Hey, I've got
scattergun
a
of
quick
bollocks.
question, by the way, Lecture. No, sincere question. Lecture, if it was possible, so we spend a lot of money protecting our southern border as it is. If it was possible to spend that amount of money investing in a variety of Latin American countries, Mexico, Colombia, whatever else, and in the long term, say in 5 to 10 years, the money that we invest in foreign aid, that we give them in foreign aid, could contribute to the betterment of conditions in those countries to the point where they don't really have that many migrant trains coming up on north, you know? We could make them want to live in their countries. If that could be done, would you prefer that? Do you think that'd be a good run forward?
Sure, I just don't think that can be done.
Thank you, Marcus Drake,
We've
with 50
been trying
bits.
to help those countries.
He says,
and it's not
Biden
just
left
the
our
Latin
border
American countries that are in these
open
we have
wider than Dylan
people
left
from
that
over
Ukrainian
120
bussy. I
different
hate me
countries
too.
crossing our border.
I think you
just
mean
this
you
year
hate
alone.
yourself too. You don't
And
hate
so
me
if
too
that
as
was
a
possible,
movement.
if we
That would
could
be a
do that
very
and we get a
different thing.
wonderful result, then who wouldn't support it? It's a wonderful result. There's no more illegal
I
alien.
won't.
That's a
I
wonderful
just have to throw in
I
that, like,
won't. It's really
Britain,
fucking really weird that like you guys that like you're just two different socialists that want to spend the American dollar on different fucking
Yes,
things.
Lecture
How about
Fan
we
is a
just end the
socialist.
fucking drug war and then the fucking cartels and so much of the crime that
He just called Lecture Fan a socialist. ANCAPs are not serious people. We should not take them seriously. They're freaks.
stability by just not violating people's rights. You don't have to spend a fucking dollar. You can just stop violating people's rights, and you'll save money and stabilize South America. Like, can we just do that without spending anybody's money?
We're starting to go a little bit off topic, but I am interested to see Lecture Fan respond to that, just because I'm interested to see the two conservatives go at it over the drug war.
Yeah,
conservative aspect.
Fabian saying that I support a bunch of government spending. It's like, no, I believe in across the board massive spending cuts at the federal level, massive spending cuts to where we're running a surplus. You're saying, oh, you support the United States government.
Does that include in policing and in the military? I wonder.
I gotta throw this over to there's people waiting. So first, I'm gonna throw it over to
you. Support a portion of the market being captured by the state.
Please,
socialist.
Sorry, I gotta make sure we have enough time for everybody. Kraut, you've been waiting a bit. I also have Adam, MPU, and Alex. I put you on the list because you just haven't said anything yet.
Okay, Britain is currently going through a cost of living crisis, the worst since the 1970s, as well as
shout out
crisis as well. Poland went through a constitutional crisis in the last few years. Italy is going through a migration crisis. Lots of crises politically across Europe, cost of living crisis mainly. Lots of issues to deal with. Yet still, despite these crises, we've all somehow found the political will to also provide military aid to Ukraine.
I hope you have your
because
suit
on the
ready.
American
Arizal or
far right
Dave in
said
North
that they
London.
want
I am
to condition
wearing
military aid to Ukraine
a fleece.
upon something
Because it's nearly 2 in the
more
morning and it's fucking cold.
Just doesn't come across.
And I'm not
as
turning the
sincere.
heating on because I'm
It
going
comes
straight the
across
fuck
like
to
an
bed after this.
excuse, as if they're just deliberately attaching something completely non-related to an issue.
Thank you, Andy Luke, for continuing the gift subs you got from
There's no
Luke
American
Mike.
far-right represented. Please stop.
I'm not talking about
if, are we talking about the border? So we're talking about the border crisis?
We were talking about how Ukraine is tied to the border crisis.
I also
how they
don't
tied
see.
these
I
two
also
things
don't see
together.
how they're the same. Is there like a Mexican army invading Texas?
Yes, they're taking it back. Tejas.
I live in Dallas, and what's going on is a lot of sex trafficking. I see a lot of children that are back.
And that's just him. That's just Alex Stein doing that.
So they can come over here. So this is a business. This is not like, oh, just fuddy-duddy, I'm a refuge, my country stinks. As a matter of fact, you can even go look up the trucks that are full of a lot of these people, because they come across the border with nothing, but they pay other coyotes to actually carry some of their belongings across the border. So this is
Yeah, we don't need to listen to this cunt. Anyway, clinically insane. You should hit the follow button. You should hit the follow button. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm fucking epic. That's why.
model of
hey,
economic and social success.
Hey,
yeah, if they let more immigrants in, they might have actually.
Can we talk about who's really behind this trafficking?
Alex,
I know you probably don't want to call it out because you know.
Stop.
But who's really behind the Coyotes?
We need everybody, please.
The Japanese. They're trying
please,
to. They're angry.
Well, it starts with a J.
I'm gonna start muting people. Okay, that was the first one I muted. It was Chud. I'll start muting everyone else. I chose Chud first because I know he can take it. Okay. Alex, I want to let you finish your point, and then we have people on a list to go to. I want to make sure we get to Adam and MPU, but Alex, I want to make sure you get to finish your point uninterrupted.
Well, and just to Vosh real quick, I would just say that the culture in Japan and the safety, and a country like South Korea or North Korea, I believe, is safe if you're not getting killed by a dictator. I'm just saying there's other countries that don't just allow every Nigerian ex-rapist into their country. And if you think that's a joke, there are literally people here that have been convicted of rape that are coming across here that don't have to...
Yeah, and they're GOP Congress people as well, yeah.
My passport. I just went out of the country to Mexico. I had to spend 4 hours in customs nearly. So I'm just saying, why do I have to do all
has
that?
Anything
they don't
racist
have to be
yet?
vaccinated.
Yes,
you know, they're just held to a different standard than an American citizen.
It's Alex Stein. If his mouth's open, he's saying something racist. Or sexist, I guess. Could be a bit of both.
You don't have to. What are you? No, then what are you complaining about?
Wait, let me.
A lot of people. You're saying nobody lost their job or nobody couldn't travel without a vaccine.
Well, you just said they don't have to be vaccinated, like you were whining you had to, and it turns out you haven't. So, like, what's the issue? You're like a Mexican immigrant in terms of your Fauci out.
Now we're arguing semantics. I'm just saying, at one point, you know that it was an obligation to.
Now we're arguing epidemiology, actually.
It's calling you a hypocrite.
We don't have to argue the vaccine. I'm just saying they don't have to. They don't have to have a passport. Why don't they have a passport?
Let's be clear. The topic is, let's bring it back over to this being tied to Ukraine. I wanted to throw this back to the people on the list. I want to throw it over to Adam. What do you think about the idea of these?
Also, was Israel, you know.
Yeah, well, that was also
the left just forced it to
Ukraine. Can we get into Israel? Can we get into Israel, please? I've got a really important question to ask. This is important. This is important. This is important.
1 second. All right.
Okay.
Twice he's muted him.
Twice. I'd like to mute him again because it's fun. Adam, something. You're on the list. You've been waiting. I wanted to make sure you got a chance to speak, and then we should move over to Israel and Gaza and talk about that a little bit. But of course, I made it Ukraine because I can. Adam.
All right, sure, thank you. So, Alex, first off, hey, how's Russia doing in NATO? You know, I've heard you.
They joined a long time ago. And first of all, let me tell you something. I'm the smartest pimp
it's
on
my
this
turn,
panel.
all right?
Yeah, that's for people who don't remember. Alex Stein once went on a hippy dippy and said, and asked the question, is Russia in NATO? That's his understanding of geopolitics. He literally asked whether Russia was in NATO. In the basically the fuck Russia club. He's a very smart boy. He's a very smart boy who knows a lot of things. We should take him very seriously.
All right. So just to address.
We only have so much time. So Adam, now that you're done dunking on him.
Okay, so just to quickly address some points. So Japan is not a good example in terms of immigration, or Korea. Both of those countries are dying as we speak. Right. So let's not bring it up. Also, So anyway, and like I noticed that like our sort of opponents, like people on the right here, like their arguments are basically just variations of distilled boomer Facebook posts. So that's a bit disappointing. Otherwise, in terms of the immigration and the southern border, and in terms of America, like as a European, I just want to share like a quick few lines of a banger song I've heard recently. It goes, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these home."
Fucking beast, Emma Lazarus in the fucking his out.
I think it's a great song, but like, I don't know why.
Took that Frenchie statue.
Yeah, I know, right? So like,
calling it a Frenchie statue. That's interesting because I saw some twat on Twitter today or yesterday, whenever it was, going on about American architecture so much better than European architecture, and the example they used was the Statue of Liberty, which was designed by a Frenchman. The steel was created by a different French company, and it was put together by a Frenchman in France, and then shipped over to America. So, you know, American architecture, lovely.
That's just not fair.
So, yeah, to kind of get to your point, America has probably the most generous immigration policy of any country on the world. If you step across the border,
you are actually brain dead. You are actually fucking brain dead.
Okay, we have over 1 million people entered this country through a legal process, and we have under the Biden administration close to 8 million thus far illegals that have crossed. Many of whom are convicted felons. They've been deported once, twice, 3 or more times. And they're still coming across.
Twice, 3 times a felon.
Easier. They made an app making it easier for people to come in, and then they just simply changed the terminology around so these people can have quote unquote legal status while they're waiting for up to 10 years, as Lecture Fan put out a few minutes ago.
Fuck yeah.
We the cartels.
If it annoys you,
not about
the war. I don't even care about the financial impact particularly. Just if it annoys this old cunt, let all of them in. Just literally open that shit up, because the head on this man would explode. And that for me would be enough. That's a public policy goal right there.
Or univariate analysis. I'm not a boomer con.
I don't care. Okay. The point is that the cartels are making as much or more money trafficking in human bodies, okay, than they do in drug sales, right? So let's just put it out there. If we build up South America. It's not going to keep the people.
Do you deny that the problem would be lessened? Do you deny that the problem would be lessened if we stop the war on drugs? Yes or no?
No, I don't think it will.
Okay,
brain dead. Like I said, absolutely fucking brain dead. Santa Claus officially soup for brains.
Before we delve into the war on drugs,
the cartels.
Wait. I'm asking you both to wait. We're delving into a totally separate topic now, and I want to make sure we pull it back a little bit. And Shud has been waiting. He says he's oppressed. I want to give him a platform as a progressive. I give oppressed people platforms. Shud,
he's a progressive.
What? Well, I tried to make it about Ukraine, but Dylan wasn't interested in exploring.
I thought you said Israel.
I invite you to make your conclusions about that. Well, no, I asked you about what was going on in Ukraine, but that doesn't matter. The only thing I wanted to say, maybe this can kick off the Israel conversation. Why is it that America needs to give money to Israel? Because surely the the Zionists are, more on top of that already, surely.
Oh, that's an easy question.
Hilarious.
Because Israel's the most legitimate country in the Middle East.
Well, we should get the cartels to give them the money.
You see what he did? Everyone who says Zionist just means Jews. He's a progressive, this guy. Cool. He's on the left. Yeah,
horrible radical Islamic extremism. You've got Americans that were captured by Hamas. Israel's our best ally. They're one of the greatest countries on earth. Full support for Israel.
How the fuck do you maintain we shouldn't be giving money to Ukraine? But then you
lecture fans in favor of aid
I have an
Ukraine
idea
as well.
Okay, so
I'm in favor of balancing.
All right,
I'm in favor of balance. I'm in favor of balancing the budget, and then once you balance the budget, then you can send it to Ukraine.
I'm in favor of you balancing on my dick.
But you don't need to do that first to send money to Israel, like Israel's special or something.
I do think Israel's different from Ukraine, and I'm so proud of the Republicans and conservative movement. The conservative movement has come out strong in support of Israel, despite the non-support for Ukraine. And I think there is a difference between Israel and Ukraine, and I'm so happy to see the Republicans and the conservatives full.
It really makes you wonder if the deferring to immigration thing was actually not an issue, and it's just a way of avoiding the actual topic.
True.
Obviously,
that's the reality.
It's always a proxy issue. It's like when they say
Can I ask that around the room? Do people think that the tying of immigration to the foreign aid bill is about solving immigration, or is it about killing the Ukraine, Israel,
killing the
Taiwan
Ukraine
aid
bill?
Yeah.
Killing
the bill. Killing the bill.
It's about neither. It's about fucking politicians and dumb fucking conservatives that follow their fucking coattails on Twitter instead of actually thinking for a goddamn moment. And politicians just want something to browbeat and beat their fucking chest about. Like the idea that these two things are the same in this giant complex fucking budget is ludicrous. It's a way to get to go, why are we spending money over there when we should be spending money at home?
Oh God, they're making the fucking ANCAP seem vaguely reasonable.
That makes the problem worse.
Oh,
I have actually a neat theory about this, by the way. I have actually a nice, neatly packaged theory. Let's see what you think. So the GOP seems to support aid to Israel unconditionally, basically, and they seem to drag their feet on Ukraine, right? They're tying it to the border stuff. So since the GOP has been getting more and more far right, so on one hand we have Israel, which is which is led by a far right government, aiming to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip and create an ethno state, and inside Israel, as it's been happening on the West Bank, for example. And on the other hand, we have Ukraine, a liberal democracy fighting against a similarly far right invasion force.
I mean, a liberal democracy whose government is supporting Israel, but okay.
Fascist almost government, Russia, right? And the GOP is not really in favor of supporting the Ukrainians against that, right? So I see a kind of strange pattern here that like fascist invasion done by like against the liberal democracy, we don't support liberal democracy, and then invasion and ethnic cleansing by a.
But wait, Lexicon doesn't want to support Russia, does he? Lexicon doesn't want to give money to Russia. That would be the equivalent, surely.
Can you define far right? You use far right
Sorry?
4 times.
It's when a person is bad.
Yes, right. So,
wait. Multiple people have asked some question. Can we have one? So first,
can I quickly respond to the?
Oh, sorry. Do you want to do that question instead? Okay.
No,
just like the random journalism slur. Like, what the fuck?
No, just a quick response. Yes, so far right would be Russia, for example, a hyper nationalist, sort of a very traditional Christian.
What's an example? Can you give a definition?
Far right, sure. So the far right is a sort of also on the is characterized. I can give you characteristics. So it's characterized by sort of hyper nationalism, sort of a very sort of hyper masculinized culture and state ethos. Is sort of looking back to a great future and sort of eulogizing a great future, and generally thinking that degeneracy from certain sources, certain ethnic groups or
is that Alex Stein? That makes Alex Stein, doesn't it? That makes Alex Stein far right. Are you saying Alex Stein is far right? Are you saying Alex Stein is far right?
Oh, I mean,
the only one here.
he's a pimp. I mean,
Alex Stein is a humble patriot, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
100%. But first of all, let me just say
he supports cartel business. He can't be an American chauvinist.
Oh yeah,
exactly right. Because I have to tip the strippers. I mean, and that's one thing that everybody needs to realize. Idolizing a politician is like thinking the stripper actually likes you. None of these politicians like us. They don't care about us. They're never going to solve our problems, especially Vladimir Zelensky, or Joe Biden, or even, believe it or not, Donald Trump is not perfect. Even though I love the man, and he likes to grab him by the what, just like I do when I'm at the strip club with the sex trafficking victims. But my point is, I really don't like aid to either of them. I mean, I want to help out Israel, of course, but then also Israel kills 3 of their own hostages that are waving white flags. That makes me kind of feel like maybe we should be shooting less guns at each other, and maybe less innocent people will get shot. So, I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I'm very anti-war.
Wait. Do you want a peace agreement?
Oh, of course, and I think that's what everybody wants, but I don't understand why. But this is the problem. Is it going to be a 2 states? Is it going to be a 2 states?
I can't hear his question.
Well, this is what they say.
Let me hear. What's your question?
With who do you want to make peace? Because all the
people.
Well,
this is what they say. They would say that it would be a 2-state solution, but I don't know if that's even possible.
How do you make peace in Ukraine?
Another 2-state solution. I mean, you guys have the Donbass region, and then
you have Russia and Ukraine.
Do you know what
they should have just agreed with Vladimir Zelensky? I mean, with Vladimir Putin at the beginning.
Do you know what the Russian position is?
They want the Donbass region, yeah.
No, they still insist to this day. They still insist on all of Ukraine.
Well, let them have it. Who gives a damn?
Why
Ukraine's fake anyway.
No. This is woke garbage. Okay, listen. Russia's borders were assigned at birth in 1993. They signed a treatise. You will never have the Donbass. Like this idea that Russia can just change its borders, based on what? Like a woke doctor? No, ridiculous. There are 2 states, Ukraine and Russia. They have tightly defined, biologically ordained borders. And what Russia's been doing lately is a ridiculous postmodern attempt at subverting the traditional Ukraine-Russia border with this, I don't know, this what, like cry bullying? Ridiculous. No, I fully support whatever aid is necessary to return Ukraine and Russia to their biologically ordained status.
If a 9-year-old, let me say this. If a 9-year-old can biologically change their sex, then I think Russia can biologically change their border.
When does the country Lockheed Martin
how does
Inquisition against the 9-year-old?
How do you get to decide which country does get to exist and which one doesn't?
Well, it's simple. You played a video game. Have you ever played a video game before or a board game?
So you want to live in a world of like
whoever has more resources and more guns usually wins.
Do you really want to enter a dog-eat-dog world?
We're already in it. We're already in it, bud.
He's already in it in
Dallas.
Dallas.
Cat ears and sit
We're
in
only
a
in it
gross
if we allow it to
apartment.
happen.
Trust me,
We're
you've been
only in it
eaten by the
because
dog already. You already got those cat ears. You've already been eaten. You know it's dog eat dog. I mean, that's how it already is.
So you want to
we
give
all
up
need to
all
run
the
away to the
diplomatic
beach at this
agreements we
point.
have, all the agreements, everything else, and just let everyone do whatever the fuck they want. Just invade, conflict, and everything.
Well, isn't that what
of
Russia?
course
Because you
I don't
know
want
how
that.
much
I'm
frozen
like
conflict there are.
interventionist. I don't want them to fight. I'm just saying, it's a futile fight in the Ukraine, and we're just giving them money.
Why
They
is it
need to come
futile?
to an agreement.
Why is it futile?
Because they're not going to beat Russia in a war. It's going to be like Vietnam or the
Why
war
do you
in
think
Iraq.
they're?
But
How's it
Vietnam
going
won.
to be Vietnam?
I don't know if
Russia
you can win a
invaded
modern day
Ukraine.
war.
Wait, pause for a second. I just wanted to. I'm curious for my own. Who's Vietnam in the Vietnam analogy?
Well, I guess you'd say Russia's America in the Vietnam analogy, but they would just
Would they
still
be
go.
Vietnam in the Vietnam analogy, or?
Vietnam won.
Well,
Can you show me on a map where Vietnam is?
What I'm sitting there, probably not. Honestly, I mean, what do I look like? You probably couldn't either, dude. I'm telling you, you get a map of 50 states. It takes you a couple tries.
Well,
to
you
probably
can
name
you
them
can
all.
tell because
And I've lived here
famously
my whole life.
America annexed the Donbass portion of Vietnam back in '73.
I'm just saying, regardless, guys, a modern day war doesn't have winners and losers. I mean, I guess you could say the Taliban beat America, but I guess that's just what they're going to do. They're just going to stay there. Well, they'll just stay there and fight forever, but it's just, it seems.
That's so true, Fabian.
As America,
People
and Russia
dying in
just
war
keep
is bad.
funding
I can
fueling
agree.
war. It's right. It's the people that keep
No
dying.
war
It's
has ever had
the
winner
Russian
losers.
soldiers that get conscripted to go die in Ukraine, and it's the Ukrainians that are dying as we continuously fund it because we have some fucking ego about this vague notion of stability, as
sorry
if
about that,
America
everyone. I
is
need
this
to go for a
paragon
shit.
of fucking stability.
The
as if they
Iranians
haven't
were
been
big
able to
fighting. The
destabilize
Iranians.
half
Do you
the
think that
fucking
if
Wait,
world.
I can't hear
Do
anything.
you think
I-
it's
nobody-
70
wait,
pulled a
stop, stop.
Hassan there.
Okay, wait. If you all talk at the same time, I can't hear anything. I know.
I pulled a Hassan. I just left someone else's content running and went for a shit. You can fund my shitting habits in the form of bits and/or subscriptions, which I'll use to buy food, which I'll then digest and shit out in future, possibly even on stream. Who knows?
Were stable today or 4 years ago, they could give you a pretty clear answer. I think that global stability is actually a pretty understandable concept. America, we are the global market. America benefits massively from the world running like a well.
Anyway, I'm going to jump into the Discord call thing now. So yeah, wish me luck, I guess. I'm due on in like 6 minutes or some shit.
Mr. Logan.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, Bridge Room.
Yeah,
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Pix. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, good.
Can't believe there's 2 British people on this panel. Wild.
It's disgusting, yeah. There needs to be some sort of review about this. Well, to be fair, there
true.
were 2 Australians, so, Yeah.
Also wild.
Yeah. Which is just kind
Which
of...
is
Australians are just spicy English anyway.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That makes me sound cooler than I am.
No, you're cool. By the way, everyone on my chat can hear this, so, If you
Yeah,
were,
I'd love to.
If you were doing racist banter or something, like,
Yeah, geek.
Yeah, I'm actually really fake. That's, yep.
Yeah, you're an
That
ANCAP
is
behind the
nothing.
scenes, aren't you?
Yeah, it's true. I am.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. Well, you and Fabian Liberty, I'm sure will get on very well.
Yeah, we have in the past.
He's a lovely young man.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
15.
My chat are playing bingo. Does your chat want the bingo card?
Yeah, absolutely.
They've all... Chat, can I get the link for the bingo card?
Let's go. I'm all for bingo. I mean, I don't know what's on there already, but we've had some belters. The R word flung around.
Oh yeah, that's on there. That's on there.
Yeah,
Here you go.
that's-
It's,
yeah.
I just chucked it in just chatting for you.
Lovely stuff.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Boom. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Some people are already real close to winning, so.
Yeah, mute your mic. Yeah, religious indoctrination. Israel has a right to defend itself. Well, I'm not even listening now, so I don't even know what they're saying.
Well.
Yeah, I'm not listening either.
Nah.
Going in blind, just for a little bit of fun, the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the bingo card either. It's the X's are popping up and then disappearing randomly.
Huh.
That's very peculiar. I mean, I like it, but I don't know what it means.
Is that happening to other people?
I don't know. But yeah, it's having its having a little discotheque party situation going on there.
What are you looking at?
You what, sorry?
What are you looking at?
Oh, everyone's linked to the same card. Hold on.
Oh right, so is that just
sharing.
is that
you
just
got, you
people?
got to generate one.
Oh, okay. How do I even do that? I don't even know how to do that.
Maybe did I give you the wrong link?
Possibly. Oh, so people on your end are controlling the content on my channel now.
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
Why have I
sorry.
got
Here,
geek
have,
on script?
here, have this. Sorry. Try that one, and then you can try that one instead.
No.
And then you generate a card, and it just puts them in different spots.
We're supposed to kick 6 people this round, but 2 of them didn't show up.
That's just a random generator. You know what? It's not that important, but I appreciate the try.
No, it's not a random generator. You just you click generate card. It says hippy dippy bingo.
Does it? Where? Not on that link. It doesn't. I don't think. Hang on.
What?
Hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's working. Okay,
Oh
I'm with
my
it.
god!
Okay.
I'm so technologically advanced.
Have we had a Hitler quote yet? I've got Hitler quote. Good lord.
I don't know, but my chat's calling you a boomer, Kevin.
Well, oh, you know what? Fair play. If you enjoy boomer nonsense, you can find me at KFLogan1875 on Twitch. Fuck it. Let's get the shilling. Let's get that in. So were we actually talking about the war on Christmas? Because I'll be honest with you, that's a dumb topic.
If everyone can
I
protest the topic,
agree.
that would be good.
If what?
Yeah,
Sorry.
the topic's done.
Everyone just protest the topic and
Yeah.
talk about something else.
Yeah.
Put Dylan off. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I heard there was bingo. It's bingo. Thanks, Tiny. What are we missing on the panel? Are they still talking about?
So most of the money transfers are done by the coming from the EU.
Yeah, they're talking about Ukraine still.
Yeah.
Oh, now you want the war on Christmas.
No, I don't want the war on Christmas or Ukraine or any of it. I'm just here to say hello to everybody and be the nice woman that I am. You know?
Well, I can't
And
believe
help
they
Dylan
let
not get cancelled.
I can't believe they let you slip through the net.
I know. No, we all know I'm here as a token. So
I was
that Dylan
promised-
doesn't get cancelled for only knowing white men.
I was promised a sausage fest. This is a disgrace. Outrageous.
I can buy one. Have you seen in Australia we have Bunnings sausages? Like my friend got 2 sausages yesterday, like at the same time, at Bunnings.
I don't
Like
know. I don't
we
know.
go out in public. We get the sausages in public in our country.
What's up, James?
Fair enough. James is here. Hello, early.
Hello. I heard that Kevin Logan was very angry because it wasn't enough sausage, so I came running in.
True, James. You are my supplier.
Have you got all the sausage?
I mean, you know, somebody's got to throw down the gagoots.
Am I supposed to be listening to the panel?
Why bother? Are you
When
sure
the
you know
when the
in there
waiting
saying
room
that
is this lit, and absolutely not.
my audio's fucked up? All right, I gotta check some shit.
Yeah, you're quite quiet.
Yeah, your mic's quiet.
Yeah,
One
that's
sec.
something I'm rarely accused of.
It's just because you're prepared to scream, right?
No, actually, it's because I made the mistake of swapping out something in my computer, and I unplugged everything and plugged it back in, and now it's all fucked up.
Oh wow, there's just boomers left, right, and centre tonight.
The right way. Yeah, it's not good.
Are you turning it up, or should we turn you up?
No. I actually am hearing myself in my head. I have to fix that first.
Okay.
That sounds like a mental health problem. What the fuck?
It's relatable, is what that is.
Yeah. The voices are very quiet, but at least they're not screaming anymore.
That's how we all ended up on this panel, though. So look.
Well, I've said this before. Anyone who streams, anyone who chooses to stream is wrong and broken.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's so true. Oh God, you get it.
Yeah, this is fair.
Yeah.
Like, how am I still here? How have I been doing this so long?
How long have you been doing this?
7 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Damn.
4 times a week, basically minimum, with a few weeks off in between. Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm breaking somewhere between year 4 and year 5, and I'm doing my shit.
I think I'm doing 3 years or something now.
Yeah, not gonna. Well, actually.
Oh my God, I'm the veteran.
Well, hold on. To be fair, you're the veteran on Twitch. If you count, I started live streaming from the field, like out live. Like I was live streaming Occupy Wall Street protests like 12 years ago.
Oh, you could have been Tim Pool. You could have gone Tim Pool.
Tim Pool. Like, literally, come on, you know this. We literally worked together for years.
Can you hear me
God,
breathing?
They're voting on who to kick. Hold on.
I cannot hear you breathing. Tempo. Although to be fair, I usually consider you to be the undead. So.
Can I just ask, why does Alex Stein exist?
Green needs to fuck somebody other than her husband.
Yeah, maybe. Is that true about him and what you call it?
Well, just so you all know, literally, the only reason I'm on the panel is so I get to ask Alex Stein how Marjorie Taylor Greene tastes.
Oh Jesus!
Just so you know.
Well, as the gentleman he is, I'm sure he doesn't kiss and tell.
No, not Alex.
Yeah, he's wearing a tie. You know.
Yeah, he's a very serious boy who asked the question whether Russia was in NATO. So, you know, person we need to listen to on matters of important international politics.
Ugh, the throwbacks.
Just remember, everybody, y'all are further to the left than Reagan's corpse. So you two know, like me, you're getting voted out quickly. So.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm a conservative now, Jenkins. I'm here to listen and learn.
I've
and be fixed.
I've only booked in for the half hour basically because I'm
Right.
getting kicked out. So.
I'm about to bring people in.
Not me.
Where's Stardust?
The bottom, yeah.
Stardust,
He's here.
words.
Muted.
Well, I'll just bring her in muted.
I mean, at the page. Alright, I gotta figure out what's wrong with my audio. Oh wait.
It's
yeah,
a very
behind
good
the
system.
scenes. Yeah,
it's a very good system.
It's like
we have a
those
central
times
committee that works with a board. It's
that
very
mail-in
democratic.
voting happened.
It's very democratic. All of our votes are digital, and I have them all on a hard drive that I keep around my my neck. All of the votes are digital. You vote only by TikTok. Okay.
The voting drops appeared at the last moment. You know, completely
Yeah.
changed the
Now we're gonna get into some serious topics. Now we just talked about a war, so we need to get into something actually serious. Okay, and that's the war on Christmas. The war on Christmas.
I
It's
think
been
we should have a
resumed.
different war, and it's the war on this topic.
The war on Christmas is intense. It's deadly. It's awful, and they're going after the good faith. So the question is for the room: is there actually a war on Christmas, or is it a blown out proportion just by like Fox News hosts? Isn't nonsense.
There's just a massive amount of religious bigotry on the left. Tons of religious bigotry and hatred on the left.
I agree.
Not enough though. Not enough.
Okay,
So if I can, I'd like to say that, you know what, I do agree. There is a war on Christmas, and I think it's fucking based. All right.
True.
I think we should I think we should continue the war on Christmas. In fact, I think we should actually bring in like heavy artillery, shoot down any Christmas trees that we see. We need to make this like a true secular utopia.
True, and
Hey,
actually, to link it back to the previous topic, you're already funding the Iron Dome, so why the fuck didn't that shoot Santa down? That's what I want to know. What's it fucking there for?
Well, because bad boys and girls don't get presents, so he never had to visit there. Look, my fucking contention here, and the thing that drives me up the wall, okay, is that there's a very clear way of handling this, okay, and it's that you should say Merry Christmas on Christmas. And when it's not Christmas, you say Happy Holidays. I don't get, like, this seems so straightforward. Like, I guess conservatives want us to live in a world where it's like December 17th and you go to the store and someone says Merry Christmas. No, the fuck it isn't. What are you talking about? That's not for a week or more. That it's insane to me. Happy Holidays isn't even like, you know, oh, you're replacing Christmas or whatever. It's just not fucking Christmas yet. Anyway, yeah, the war on Christmas fucking talking point is really dialed down now. I guess it's just all trans people or whatever conservatives are obsessed with, trans cock, I don't know. Because this like Rush Limbaugh era of like American good old boy folksy town hero shit is dying because people won't say Merry Christmas on December 1st. I just haven't heard it in a while. Maybe it's because Tucker Carlson's not currently with Fox. Maybe he'd be doing that bit if he was still with them.
Well, I just want to say this point. I was just in New York City, and I was so surprised by the hotel rooms were so much more expensive in December because I'd been there multiple times this year. And I thought, oh, well, it's because there's all these great Christmas lights. But literally, other than 30 Rockefeller Center, there wasn't that many Christmas decorations in New York. And I always thought, like, I always envisioned the movie Home Alone, where it's just Christmas everywhere. But New York wasn't like that when I was there. So I do think Christmas is dying, but a lot of that is Hanukkah envy because Hanukkah gets 8 crazy nights, and, you know, Christmas only gets 1. So you're gonna obviously the Christians are gonna be a little jealous about that, you know. And Jesus was a Jew, so they kind of like a lot of Jewish stuff. So, you know, I do think there is some sort of a war on Christmas. I think that there's less jolly spirits during the holiday seasons, and for whatever reason, maybe because people are struggling financially, I don't know, but it does seem like there is less Christmas decorations and less Christmas joy around the holiday season here in America.
I also think Protestants are godless, and this is also a big issue. Like, Catholics know how to throw a party, and Protestants, the only thing they can do to celebrate Christ is to, like, play the same 3 songs in every department store in America for 1.5 months.
But the Protestants are acting very much like the Catholics in their need to feel oppressed. They need to be downtrodden by this
certainly,
fake
and they've taken nothing
outrage.
but the best qualities, to be sure. I can't stand the department store music, you know. Like, does anyone really think we're honoring Christ with the fucking the Gaudi, like the nanosecond Thanksgiving ends, or before? They don't even care. They'll do it before fucking Halloween these days, you know? Ridiculous. Jesus Christ would have wanted us to celebrate Halloween with everything decorated in black and orange. The idea of introducing Christmas stuff before then is just ungodly.
Fair point.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I agree. I like Halloween. You know, it's very spooky. You know, and you know, I like the spooky holidays. But as far as like Christmas goes, like maybe everybody realized that, like, you know, a fat dude sliding down your chimney, you know, ruin your fucking chimney is bringing down your property value. Maybe people don't like to encourage that amongst their children. I don't know.
Breaking and entering, you mean?
Yeah.
Also, who even has a chimney anymore? That's what the green agenda is all about.
True.
Getting rid of fireplaces was to stop Christmas. It was the ultimate war on Christmas.
You know what's hilarious?
Flex.
Is half you motherfuckers bitch about Christmas. You don't even believe in Christmas. But then you want to try to make the right or the conservatives the cuck in the matter about Christmas. First off, I could give a fuck too less about any Zionist ideology about what Christmas is and their marketing ploy to keep making me spend my fucking hard-earned money. But you fucks, especially you socialist fucks, how about you guys explain to me what Christmas means to you?
Zionists are making you spend your money.
Okay. Let's let him finish quick. He seems to be on a roll here.
Zionists have created this model where they make these conservative Christians and Catholics all agree to their little approach to Jesus, who they've plucked, right? We all know this. And then on the flip side, everybody's like, oh, these fucking conservatives who love them some Jesus on the wall, they're the ones that are upset. I never believed in that white Jesus on the wall. Never. But I'm still a conservative, right? I still believe that everybody has a right to their religion. Yeah, I agree that this is a whole bunch of fuckery. But just like I would say to Dylan before, and I'll say now, fuck Israel, fuck Ukraine. Don't give a fuck about any of it, including your holidays. That's what I'm saying. Y'all can quit arguing about it.
There's some
Christmas.
Hitler particles
Christmas.
going down
Anybody
there.
who's complaining about Christmas becoming outdated is just being a crybaby.
Critical support for Israel and their war against Christmas. Like, this is very much like an enemy of my enemy of my. But you know, like if that's what it takes, then all right, I'm willing to allow the IDF to be deployed to American Macy's so they can stop playing that fucking music, like at the beginning of November.
Critical
onward.
support for Israel is a very different tune than you used to have on Twitch. Is all I'll say.
J dams are the only possible solution to non-stop Christmas tunes.
Santa should be a black man with all the breaking and entering he does, and that's not a racial thing. That's just a statistical.
Oh my God, Alex, you can't say that. Good
Yes, you
God.
can say that. I do think Santa would. He has a lot of black characteristics.
Enter into your fucking house if you don't shut the fuck up, Alex. What did I tell you?
You know, these are not.
Well,
I don't think these help the
Reformed
voting system we have here.
Women actually love Christmas.
And
I
think
love a
Santa should be
holiday
gay.
that celebrates like men giving presents to women. I love it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I love Christmas. That's great.
Santa should be a gay man. Yeah, sex with his elves in my fantasy.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't want him to be gay. You need to be consistent on this. Do you?
No, I
or
want
do
him
you
to be
not
a
want him
black
to be
gay. I want him to be like RuPaul's Drag Race.
Are you? Can I just say? Can I just, Alex? Are you?
RuPaul Santa would serve cunt.
This
to be
isn't
sure.
really relevant to anything, but are you fucking AOC? Because that's the news, right? That's the.
I wish. I'm about to be back in DC. I'm about to go sniff AOC's office area and just see if I can smell. If
This
I can get on her
is
set.
modern trad conservatism. It's like how when you go on Twitter and they're all like Gunnar lolicons or whatever, and it's like this is going to bring back the Fourth Reich. It's like that in AOC, you know. It's
Why do you always bring up lovely,
the
Vosh?
right
What is your
the
deal
right
with
was
lovely?
the
Why
right
bring
was
up
correctly
lovely? Isn't
the
that like
right
your-
was correctly criticized for hyperfixating on AOC for years. So now it's like, all right, well, we might as well own it. That's modern
Fucking
conservatism.
Vouch and Alex Stein, two white boys privileged talking all this shit. What the fuck? Both of you cucks. Both of you. You're fucking retarded. Both of you.
Okay.
You motherfuckers.
Okay, so
you both are fucking retarded.
Wait, I don't. Wait, this guy's
pause.
cooking. Hold on.
I'm asking everybody to quiet down, please. Help me moderate. Help me moderate. I'm asking you
How
guys
are you?
to help me right
I'm
now.
not prepared for this job.
I'm asking you guys to help me moderate by quieting down.
helping.
Okay?
Everybody
Help
shut
me
up. Redneck
help
is
you.
speaking.
Thank you. Okay, so this topic was supposed to be about Christmas and the holiday season. This is supposed to be
but it's a
soft
dumb topic. It's
where
a dumb
everybody-
topic,
Everybody
Dylan.
ho ho ho.
Dylan, it's a stupid
dumb
fucking topic. Yeah, it's
Why
a
is
dumb
it
topic.
stupid? It's a brilliant topic.
It's
We're talking about the war on Christmas. It's an important issue.
I actually
Yeah,
think
but
there's a
it's
lot of
not
interesting stuff
real.
to talk about with regard to, like, I don't know, culture of family.
Okay,
homes,
wait. Let
parentage.
me poll the room. Who believes the war on Christmas is real? Raise your hand.
It's a proxy war.
Okay, why is it real for the people who think it's real?
Because they're
How
fucking
is it real?
brain
How does it
dead.
demonstrate?
Because they're brain dead.
Kevin.
What the fuck?
Kevin, I want to examine examine other opinions, Kevin.
Well,
in the holiday
Who the
season.
fuck believes in it? Who the fuck believes in it, Dylan? This
I'm
is one of
asking
those
them.
stupid ass takes you put up. You
What
put
do you
that shit up
mean?
for
You
some...
just said wait, redneck.
I said
just
fuck
asked
it
the
all.
room.
I
Redneck,
said fuck
I
Israel
asked
and
the
fuck
room
Ukraine
who believes.
completely.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to.
Wait, Dylan, did you do the Orthodox Christmas?
I only meant Orthodox Christmas, of course. Yes.
No, I'm
Only
actually
Orthodox.
like, well, you were in Ukraine. Did you do Orthodox Christmas or?
I didn't do Orthodox. No, I celebrated Passover when I was in
Really?
Ukraine. Yeah,
Oh,
I
nice.
met a nice some Ukrainian Jews, and they invited me over for Passover.
This supports the Israel is destroying Christmas theory.
Exactly.
That we were
Look,
examining earlier.
Zelensky
Wait,
takes
you distracted
over.
me. My point. Wait. Can we stop? Let me lead the show here for a moment. I'm gonna do it. How do I do a server mute? Everybody. Okay. Alex Stein and Lecture Fan, you guys believe the war on Christmas is real to some capacity. I think MPO also semi-raised a hand. Can you explain that? Because it seems like the rest of the room doesn't understand.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what it is it's a stand-in for like just attacking Christianity generally, right? The left can't stand the fact that people believe in a non-secular power that is greater than themselves, right? And so they come at anything that is Christian, whatever. And to Redneck's point, right? It doesn't matter whether you support the Christmas holiday, the commercialism and stuff like that, it's way fucking overdone. I get that. But really the message for Christians is it's about the birth of who they believe is the savior, right? And you can't attack anybody else's religion the way you can attack Christianity in this country, and it's fucked up.
Are you
right?
are you joking? You know Donald
don't-
Trump literally just called again for a ban on Muslims, right?
You can't go. You can't.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! Fuck Donald Trump! Jesus fucking Christ! Get him out of your head, you bitches!
Oh yeah, he's only running to be president.
Made a joke about
Wait,
Muslims.
let's MPU finish his thought, right? Let me let him finish his thought quick. Okay.
You need to have a thought first.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. If you went after Ramadan, okay, which is the Muslim high holy month, right? If you went at it with the same kind of verve that they go after Christmas or anything that's Christian related, there'd be a fucking uproar. And I think the hypocrisy of the left is just fucking insane over it.
Lecture fan, you're also a fan of Jesus. Could you chime in on this?
Well, first of all, I do think that Vosh was correct when he said that the war on Christmas is not really a big political issue right now. I think that's largely because Trump was so successful in bringing it back and people started saying Merry Christmas again. More Perfect Union's right that.
Would you say Trump won the war on Christmas?
Vosh admitted, yeah, pretty much, pretty much did, yeah. Vosh admitted though that he's a religious bigot, and so this does come from not only a release of religious hatred and religious bigotry from the atheist left, but it's not just Christmas. There's a war on all of our holidays. The Democrats and the left are trying to replace July 4th with Juneteenth. They're trying to replace Christmas with Kwanzaa, which is a completely made up thing. So
can I just ask, what did Trump
try to collapse? Hold on, let me finish.
No,
that's all designed to try to destroy the foundations of our country and our holidays, whether it's July 4th or Christmas. Then you collapse the society and try to replace it with socialism. And screw Halloween. What
did Trump actually do?
Wait.
The war on Halloween now too?
Slow down. I love international relations theory, and so I wanted to ask it from that perspective. So would you say that the war on Christmas is a proxy war in the wider left's cultural crusade against the holiday season generally, July, all the other holidays, Thanksgiving as well, of course?
Oh, I think it's absolutely part of the globalist left, absolutely.
Globalist, there we go, globalist.
Can I say something? I feel like for how much the right likes to talk about freedom of speech, I should be able to say happy holidays whenever the fuck I want to. Why the fuck is the right of all people trying to police my fucking words coming out of my mouth? You can't do that shit. Don't ever think that you can talk to me and stop me from saying happy holidays. I will say happy holidays. You can say Merry Christmas back, and I won't fucking stop you. I'm not gonna put fucking tape over your mouth. It's only conservatives and you know, fucking right wingers who are having a fucking meltdown over me saying happy holidays.
So now, Star. Can I give you?
Wait. Let's have one. Okay, wait. Who wanted to respond to Stardust's coaching points? Okay, I'll let lecture fans respond, then we'll go over Redneck.
I was just going to say real quick, hilarious to hear Stardust and the left pretending to care about free speech.
Yeah, right. Do you know who you're talking to? I'm literally the person who is like the most like, I will talk to anybody and let them say, you know, crazy shit. And
there's an OnlyFans. Stardust has an OnlyFans, so she's free speech.
I do not have an OnlyFans, but I've been on
Alex let those amongst us.
Alex knows I'm pro free speech, so.
Okay, Redneck.
She is.
I know who's not Stardust the first time.
This is strictly for Star. I'm so fucking proud of you. You're so good on that one. Keep yelling louder. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, go ahead.
Are you simping for Stardust like that, Redneck? Look
no,
at
no,
you,
no. That was a little bit self. That was a little bit self. It's a little.
I want to show this over the Pixel. I saw Pixels. I saw. I don't know if anybody else saw Pixel's fantastic edit of the. Of the promo for the show. It had all of your names replaced with the word men, and then her face plastered on the front. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. And so I want to throw it over to her because you haven't had much time to talk.
I'm just so happy to be here today so that you don't get cancelled for not having enough, representation. Like,
yes, thank you. Please help me, please.
Among esteemed intellectuals. Like, I love talking about this shit. I'm so happy you brought it back, and I'm just, really proud to be here.
Do I not count as a woman now, Pixel?
Oh, no. Oh, no, your name's still on there. Your name's still on there. Your name's still on there. I didn't take your name.
You put Manny Cake's name on there too, I think.
Okay. Yeah. No. Oh my God, no. I'll lift us all up. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not.
Right. Okay.
Goddamn, I'm so
typical of women. There's two of them, and they start fighting.
Alex Stein, are you happy we have so much female representation on the show?
Yes, Stardust and I are friends. So yeah, I love my girl Star. She's looking good. She's got the right camera angle, trying to get a few more clicks on the tits. I know what she's trying to do there. And then Pixie.
Oh, come on, seriously, I barely.
Star, you're going cleavage. I've never seen you this cleaved out.
Okay, dude, I dress more conservatively than all of the female.
Star, you can't win. This guy's a gooner. You could. There's nothing you could wear.
You're showing it off tonight.
No,
I know what you're trying to. You knew I was on the debate.
You're not
You're
not winning the points in the point system.
That's a fair fucking point, Alex. I'll give you that one. You got her on that one.
Star, this guy's a king for clothed women. You can't win. There's nothing you can wear.
Everyone.
I dress more conservatively 100% than most conservative women, and I guarantee you I probably live more conservatively than most conservative women.
This guy has to wear a condom on the subway so he doesn't ruin his trousers.
What about Calendar Gate? Wait, Dylan, what about Calendar Gate? Are all those Republican women whores now because did you guys hear about Calendar Gate?
You never catch me on a calendar, by the way, like that, okay?
Dylan, are you familiar with what I'm talking about? Calendar Gate, the conservative calendar that's making all the conservatives fight?
That sounds like something I need to buy.
Yeah, look it up. Seth Weathers made a calendar of conservative women holding ultra-right beer, and all of the conservatives have been fighting each other on Twitter all weekend because they say that it's softcore porn, but it's not. I mean, the girls. I mean, have you seen that? Star? Are you familiar with it?
I have seen that. So, a huge person leading that is the Bryson guy, the rapper.
Bryson Gray. Yes.
Bryson Gray, and then a few other people are basically saying, "Oh, this is sacrilegious. This is satanic. They're
softcore porn.
Softcore porn." And then there's a bunch of other women who are like, "Well, I'm just gonna dress how I want to dress. We're just having fun with this, So, yeah.
Yeah, but conservatives don't want women to dress how they want to dress. They've no interest in that freedom at all.
It depends on the conservative. It depends on which white women.
Well, all conservatives want women to dress slutty. They just want to complain about it.
That's not true.
True.
Vash, that's not true.
You have been the biggest fucking
coomer I've ever been on a panel with.
Why do you push so many perceptions? Like, that's the issue, right? That's why I told you, you and fucking Alex are both the same motherfuckers. You're both motherfuckers are the same. You just need to look at the mirror. You motherfuckers are exact same.
We're both cartel spies for different reasons.
That bullshit. You guys both sit online and talk out your asses without you just say the stupidest of shit without ever actually thinking about how it applies to the actual people on the ground.
Wait, what did I say?
What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, I can start. Hold on. I can start. Alex. Alex, first off.
Wait. Everybody quiet down. I'll give you a minute to do this. But then we only have 6 minutes left in a round, everybody.
I only need a minute to cook. That's it. Listen, Alex, I like your jokes. I think some of your shit's some of the most hilarious shit in the world. But you do say some racist shit. You come out of pocket from your mouth. And I'm telling you, from someone that's been on the streets, you better be careful, because when you pop your mouth off the way you do online and some of the racist shit you do say, I'm surprised you were still walking with a solid grill. Just being firm and telling you from a transracial racist here. And you vouch all this shit out of him. All this socialist bullshit that you talk and espouse, you never actually address who's in charge, though. You never address who's in power. Sure, it's all fun and games when everybody collectively helps each other. I'm a redneck. I'm a fucking farmer. We're the original socialists, remember? But guess what? You never address that. So all your points are always from a point of privilege. You and Alex are the both same white cucks in the world, talking all this shit from opposite polar spectrums, and you're not looking at the people in the middle.
Can I just say?
That's the point I want to make. Too much of this bullshit's happening these days, and I came out here to get this point across. Fuck Israel, fuck Ukraine. All this war is about money. The trafficking that's happening down south is about kids and their fucking lives.
We're talking about the topic is Christmas.
Can we just point out? I'm gonna get voted off.
Can I just point out?
It's all about money, and the presents need to be freedom and your humanity.
Can I just point out?
Really good job on that That was such a good soapbox. It was very good.
Let me just rebut one thing, that I make racial jokes. Of course I do, but I hire and employ multiple black people. So to think that I would ever be racist,
motherfucker, I don't care if you hire them. I don't give a fuck. They should punch your ass out for saying that shit in Minecraft. Look, dude, it's point blank is this. Most people that make these comments.
Why would I have so many African American employees?
Can I just point out? We were talking about Cleveland.
A fucking slave master had a whole bunch of black people around him. You dumbass. What the fuck are you trying to say?
Okay. We were talking about Cleveland. Vosh has got his tits out.
We're not. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna ask everybody to quiet down because we're going towards kicking people. Because it's the end of the round. We only got 4 minutes left. So since we only got 4 minutes left, everybody, why should you stay another round? I'm gonna start with Kevin.
I don't really give a fuck if I stay another round or not. I just want to point out that Vosh, being the dirty slut that he is, they were talking about cleavage. He gets his tits out straight away. Outrageous. Vote for me. Don't vote for me. I couldn't give a fuck. Much love.
Awesome. Alex.
Pimp on a blimp, always and forever, baby. Let me fly high tonight. Let's go. We're just getting started. We're just turning on. We're up to like 4 or 5. We're gonna try to get these things to 11 tonight.
Okay. What does 11 look like if this is 4 or 5?
Bad, Dylan. Bad to the bone. Ba-na-na-na-na. I'm serious. It's gonna get wicked and wild, like a Will Smith song. Wicked, wicked, wild, wild west.
Oh, I'm obviously the only rational one here, so.
Okay, well, that's a good point. A Pixel.
Can I stay because I'm pretty and I'm looking for a husband?
Okay, there's an argument. Redneck.
Fuck you! Don't keep me. I hate all of you. I don't give a fuck. I'm done. I'm retired.
Fair play.
What the fuck?
I agree.
That's true.
Yeah.
We did bring him out of retirement. Stardust.
If you get rid of me, you are sexist and you're racist. Okay? So don't you think about it. If you think about it, you're a bigot.
2 for 1.
Making use of that camera angle.
That is a good use of the camera angle.
Yeah, that's a very good use. It's like intentional.
I'm fucking joking with you. Do you think this is a joke right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I swear to God, if you would have shown this much love on your own fucking show the other day, the last time we debated, you would have fucking done so much better, Star.
Okay.
God damn it, where was this fire?
Not Redneck. Vosh.
I'm also going to go for the pretty and looking for a husband angle. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm right here, bitch. What? Let's go.
Did you stabilize on one rate? Is it one side now? Or is that for sure? Or is it just men? Or are we playing games? Because, I mean, if I get
We're
single,
always
I
playing
could be
games.
looking... Okay.
Redneck, are you gay? Are you gay, Redneck?
I mean, I'm a sexually active 53, almost 53-year-old man that if anybody wants to hit on me and donate to my fucking fan book, if I have to have one, I'm almost at that point, right? I mean, there's a viewer for everybody, and I was told that I'm pretty good looking, so fuck it. I mean, I'm not afraid of my sexuality, Alex.
Let's go.
So you're gay? So you're homosexual?
Your last one. Why'd you stay another round? Vosh, why should you stay another round? Why should we throw you out?
Yeah, I'm going for the pretty and looking for a husband angle.
Okay, got you. So the other, the counterance of Pixel. Okay, well, we've got the kicks here, and again, don't consider it personal. It's all for profit. We're first going to be kicking. Okay, 1 second. Oh yeah, there it is. Stardust, Kevin, MPU, and Red. Very sorry.
Racist.
That is racist.
Racist.
I gotta say, Stardust, we weren't gonna kick you. Then you said I can be racist and sexist, and then I had to. It's 2 for 1.
Of course.
Thank
you.
you.
You're just going on the old
tweeting
ages.
about this, so.
I'm kidding, of course. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate it. Hippy Dippy anniversary. The reason you guys were all invited is because I believe you guys are the heart and soul Hippy Dippy, because you all have been part of Hippy Dippy for so long, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Dylan, can I say one thing to you?
What's
Seriously?
that?
Thank you. Seriously. I hope you're safe and keep doing what you're doing, because you're one of the only people on the left that I do respect, because you go out and do what you say and you believe. That's all I ask from everybody. Don't just talk about it, be about it.
Can I just say one thing, which is go and follow me at KF Logan 1875. Yeah, on the fucking Sigma grind set, bitch. Let's go.
And Stardust at Twitch.
Stardust at Twitch or on YouTube. I prefer YouTube, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. And you guys are all racist, and I hate you.
True. Oh, and MPU, you lasted for 1 second. If you were one of the
fuck yeah, let's go.
Starters, so you lasted for an hour and a half.
Well, you know, when you've been around as long as I have, you just kind of naturally drag through. So,
I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, I told you I'd get kicked after half an hour. Yeah, obviously. There are big names and shit. Anyway, yeah, I'm basically done, I think, at this point. Is there anything anyone wants me to watch whilst I'm here? I don't mind either way. Are you still watching it? I don't know. What are they talking about? Hang on, I can go over to the Discord and... It's in schedule? What are they talking about? The Trump Colorado. Oh no, fuck that noise. No. Okay, no, I'm not watching this anymore. Does anyone have anything else to watch? If not, I don't mind. I can leave it for the night. It is 2:30 in the fucking morning, so you know. Whatever. A palate cleanser would be nice. Did anything get discussed? No, it didn't. No. As always in these, they never get anything worthwhile discussed. Ironically, I've been eating Chinese. Is that ironic? I don't know. Do you want me to show you the video with Christy having the most leftist audio? Not really. I have a thing on the Blitz spirit is fake if you want it. Yeah, I'm good for that. Yeah, if you want.
Get some sleep, Kev. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of me too. Hang on, I can go into that now, can't I? Hang on. I need to reactivate. Boom, there we go. Hello everyone. How are we? Was it a succulent Chinese meal? Good fucking question. Thank you, Why Would a Storing with Bits. Yeah, Blitz Spirit video if you want to do that. I'm okay with that. Who the fuck is using the phone? Oh no way! This dickhead. What's his name? Bottom middle here. What's his name again? Oh fuck's sake. I've been on streams with him a million times. Look at the guy with the worst camera setup. My camera setup's fine. What are you talking about? How dare you, Navigator? How fucking dare you? It's also a H-Bomber Guy video. What? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Quick, links, people. Someone said they were going to show me a thing or something. I don't know. A meme galling... What? Was the Blitz spirit a real thing? The London History Show. Let's go.
This is London.
Hello.
You will now hear a statement by the Prime Minister.
I am speaking to you from the Cabinet Room at 10 Downing Street.
This is the London rush hour. This is not a pleasant way to spend the night, but the people accept it as their part in the defense of London. The People's Army of Volunteers is ready. They are the ones who are really fighting this war. The firemen, the ambulance drivers. The city is dressed for battle. Not all the services run as they did yesterday, but London manages to get to work on time, one way or another. Today, the morale of the people is higher than ever before.
What?
They are fused together, not by fear, but by a surging spirit of courage, the like of which the world has never known.
What was the Blitz?
During the Second World War, Germany unleashed a campaign of nighttime bombings on Britain, especially on London.
To this day, you can still see bomb damage in many parts of London. This is on St Bart's Hospital in Smithfield, but you can also see bomb damage in the V&A and on the Tate Britain as well. Or how about here at West India Quay, where this long row of Georgian warehouses suddenly... There are even entire bombed out churches still standing, like Christchurch Greyfriars and here at St Dunstan in the east.
I'm going to put a link to a map of all these places in the description so you can visit them for yourself. The worst period, the period called the Blitz proper, was the 7th of September 1940 to the 10th of May 1941. 38 million gas masks were issued against gas attacks. Blackouts were enforced to make sure planes couldn't tell where they were, with street lights, traffic lights and car headlights covered up. To save on food, the government introduced rationing on things like bacon, butter and sugar, with some foods entirely unavailable. 1.5 million mothers and children were evacuated to the countryside at the start of the war, where they would be safer. and during an air raid you were advised to take shelter, either in a reinforced room in your own house, or a prefabricated bunker you could build in your garden, or, if you lived in a flat, a public shelter.
If you're in the open with no cover, lie down, preferably in a ditch.
In his book, The Myth of the Blitz, Angus Calder says, there's a narrative we tell ourselves about what happened on the home front.
By the way, everyone go and follow Sister Rose immediately.
During World War II. It generally goes something like this. British people were bombed during the war, but we remained cheerful, kept a stiff upper lip, and kept calm and carried on.
I do remember Marcus,
we'll meet
yeah.
again,
She's
and
good.
Held tea parties with bunting in our air raid shelters. We stood alone on our island and defended...
As I pointed out, we never stood alone at all. It's a statistic worth remembering constantly, that a quarter of all of the available service personnel, flying service personnel, at the start of the Battle of Britain, on the British side, were Polish. When the Poles were invaded by both Germany and then latterly the Soviet Union, much of their air force escaped to Britain, and so literally about a quarter of the pilots at the start of the Battle of Britain were Polish, without whom we would have lost. And of course the millions of others from places like India and the Caribbean who fought for us and all the rest of it. But you know, stood alone is a nice narrative. It's not true, but it's a nice narrative.
Not just our own country from the Nazis, but other countries too, like France and Belgium.
You're
Everyone
welcome.
pulled together in the Second World War. Britons worked together for a common purpose. We were truly a united kingdom. Britons didn't give in to panic or despair. They weren't snowflakes. In short, they had Blitz spirit. This spirit proved to Hitler that the British were unconquerable, and he gave up on Britain and went to take on an easier project instead.
Except they continued to bomb Britain incessantly during the entirety of the war, including literally the last few weeks of the war. They were still sending over V2 rockets. But, you know.
Like Russia. So is it true? Did British people have a Blitz spirit? And what did it consist of? How did British people react to the bombings of the Second World War? Were we really all in it together? Did we all keep calm and carry on? Let's investigate.
As with everything, it's complicated. The narrative that gets spun is never entirely true, and it's rarely entirely false. I like that it's called Yorkshire tea, and yet it's grown in like Assam, India. Yeah, Clydebank, it should be pointed out. Clydebank, it's interesting that you mentioned that, when she says mostly London. In terms of overall bomb damage, in terms of number of houses destroyed and people killed per head of population, Clydebank in Scotland, which was a very heavily industrialised part of Scotland. The Clyde is the river that goes through Glasgow. And Clydebank had important shipyards, dockyards, which obviously therefore made it a target for that bombing campaign. And yeah, it was the most damaged place in the entirety of these islands. Even though London obviously had huge devastation, Coventry was devastated, the Birmingham Blitz was enormous, Manchester and all the sort of northern industrial towns were hit really badly. But Clydebank was the worst hit in terms of the percentage of it, because it's got a small place, but it was bombed very heavily. So, little factoid for you there. That's a lot of milk. That is piss tea. What you've made there is a slightly tea-scented cup of milk. Disgusting.
Oh no, that's disgusting. Oh, how do people drink this?
What?
That's more like it.
I don't get this bit at all.
At the outset, I'm not saying there was no heroism, no tea parties and no neighbourliness during the war, or that we shouldn't be proud of what Britain accomplished in fighting off a fascist invader. We all grew up with stories about Blitz spirit, mothers taking in evacuees, uncles putting the kettle on after a raid, grandfathers climbing over bomb sites to get to school. I'm not going to argue that those things didn't happen or that they are in any way diminished. What I am going to do is talk about some things that I wasn't taught in school, on the assumption that you might not have been taught about them either, to try and balance out the scales a little bit and add some nuance to the conversation around the war. So if Blitz spirit was real, one thing you might expect to see would be a lowering of class boundaries. After all, we're all in it together, aren't we? We all put aside our differences and work together to stop Hitler. And it's true that there are accounts of individual rich people lending out their big houses for shelters or evacuees, or running drives to raise money for hospitals. But from looking at accounts at the time, rather than all being in it together, you get the sense that the Blitz was much, much worse for some people than for others.
Yep.
The first of the Luftwaffe's targets in the Blitz was London's docks in the East End. This part of London was generally much poorer than the West End and was more heavily bombed. These maps show the buildings that have bomb damage in various colours depending on the severity of the damage. These are the poorer areas of Rotherhithe, Millwall and Bermondsey.
Bermondsey.
This is Kensington and Knightsbridge, where the wealthy people live.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, the provision of shelters was worse in the East End as well. Before the war, the government was clear they did not want to provide public shelters. They preferred people to reinforce their own homes instead. But the poorest people lived in such cheaply made houses, they'd have no protection no matter how many windows they boarded up. And you could get an Anderson shelter for free from the council, but you need a garden to put it in.
Yep.
When local authorities did build public shelters, they could be pretty dreadful. The most notorious was the Tilbury off Commercial Road in Stepney. It was originally part of a train station goods yard. Richie Calder called it the most unhygienic place I have ever seen. Sex workers carried on their trade inside,
Oh, no.
fights broke out, and people wandered about selling fried fish, so you can imagine the smell.
Oh, God.
There were only 12 chemical toilets for thousands of people. And when the gates were opened every night, there was a crush to get in, and people were trodden underfoot. And rich people came from West London to gawp at it. The artist Rachel Reckitt writes about how Lady Astor tried to get in, but the warden refused her entry, saying he was tired of West Enders getting an evening's entertainment sightseeing in East End shelters.
Jesus Christ.
So the government...
Rich people have always been scum. There wasn't like a golden age where they were like somehow more moral.
Didn't bother to provide adequate shelter, figuring people could just go to their basements or Anderson shelters instead. and people in the...
How heavily hit was Birmingham? Very badly, yeah. Like, it was more specifically targeted rather than being repeatedly bombed all the time. So it got off in terms of number of overall raids, but some of the raids that were absolutely enormous. The Birmingham Blitz is an interesting topic, which you could look into if you wanted to, you know. Yeah, it was hit pretty badly because it was a big industrial city. The only thing that was difficult for them in terms of navigation was there are no major rivers in Birmingham because we're on the Birmingham Plateau, so our rivers are tiny and little tributaries to the River Severn. And so in terms of navigation in blackout conditions, it's actually pretty difficult to find Birmingham. So we were kind of protected. And by the way, rivers, the reason rivers are really good is because under moonlight, it reflects off the river. So you can literally follow the river in like a kind of silvery road, if you will, into the heart of a city if it's got a big river, like the Thames or like the Clyde or whatever. Whereas Birmingham didn't have that, so we were somewhat protected.
East End paid for this decision with their homes, their families, and their lives. Of course, if you don't have much to begin with, it's easier to lose everything. One observer, Barbara Nixon, said,
"For many of the wives, their home had been their life's work. All their energy, all their attention for more than 30 years had gone into polishing, patching and scrubbing. They went without luxuries to get the furniture. They spent years paying for it. And now that furniture, which was almost part of them, is a pile of splinters. The face of one woman was purple with crying."
Even taking in evacuees was disproportionately done by the lower classes, who didn't always have enough to go round to begin with. One women's voluntary service member said,
"We find over and over again that it is the really poor people who are willing to take evacuees, and that the sort of bridge playing set who live at such places as Chorley Wood are terribly difficult about it all."
One council in Wiltshire refused evacuees on the grounds that large houses didn't have enough servants to look after them. One letter to the Times actually suggested camps in which children could be concentrated rather than taking them into homes. Some of the way poor evacuees are talked about is genuinely horrifying. Half-savage, verminous and wholly untrained animals, stunted, misshapen creatures, quite incapable of thought. The Times printed this. And of course, the Blitz left many people homeless. Middle and upper class people might be able to stay with a friend or go to a country house or a hotel, but for many there was nowhere to go. By May 1941, 1 in 6 Londoners were homeless. And if you don't have a home, you don't have cooking facilities, somewhere to wash or launder your clothes, or somewhere to keep out of the rain. If your house was bombed, you were probably covered in dirt and debris and maybe blood, and your clothes probably smelled of burning, but you didn't have anywhere to wash. Even among those whose houses were not bombed, gas and water were often shut off, leaving people with no means of cooking or washing. And EastEnders recognised this disparity at the time. Harold Nicholson records the MP Clement Davis saying,
"Everybody is worried about the feeling in the East End where there is much bitterness. It is said that even the King and Queen were booed the other day when they visited the destroyed area.
Based.
If the Germans had had the sense not to bomb west of London Bridge, there might have been a revolution in this country."
And it wasn't just class disparities that showed a lack of Blitz spirit during the war. If you were seen as foreign, you might not have any experience of all pulling together at all. Again, of course, there were exceptions, notably the 10,000 refugee children who were given refuge in Britain under the Kinder Transport Programme, or the 669 Czechoslovakian children rescued by British stockbroker Nicholas Winton, but others found British attitudes hostile. Alan Wilmot...
Britain being racist towards people in their hour of need? Well, this can never have happened before or since, surely. Such a welcoming and kind nation.
A Jamaican man who enlisted during the war later told the BBC,
"Most of the time, I was the only black, so no problem. But when I was on other duties and had to mix, there were some problems, mostly caused by stereotyping. People would say things like, 'Because you're black, you don't need to wash,' and Where did you learn to speak English if you live in trees?
What the fuck?
Anti-Semitism continued unabated during World War II. Jews were accused of running the black market, dodging military service, overcharging for rationed goods, taking all the good spots in shelters.
The Jews always cop it, man. No matter what the situation is, the Jews always fucking get it in the neck. Jesus Christ. You're literally fighting against the fucking people who are genociding them, and you're still like, nah, fuck them. Do you know what I mean? Fucking mad. Mad shit.
And war profiteering. A Jewish girl called Gloria Agman was evacuated and said that both the village children and the other evacuee children would call her a rotten Jew. Later, she was moved to a new family where she pretended to be Christian, which allowed her to avoid anti-Semitism directed at her, but she had to listen to them talking about those filthy Jews who lived down the road and wouldn't dare let her obviously Jewish parents visit. One mass observation report included a Birmingham woman who said Jews were parasites who live on mugs like us.
Birmingham has changed, I promise. It's better now. Now we say that about Muslims instead, which is totally different and fine, apparently. Yeah. Fucking hell.
And hoped their districts were wiped out in the Blitz.
Ooh.
The cruelest persecution, I think, must have been that directed at German refugees, especially Jewish ones. People fled the Nazi regime in Germany only to be thought of as Nazis in Britain for having a German accent. Newspapers such as The Express and the Daily Mail whipped up this feeling.
The Daily Mail being racist? Well, I never.
This person, quoted in the Daily Mail, could almost be talking about Syrian refugees today.
Where did so many of them get so much money to live on? Poor refugees. Oh, all they have to do is say Hitler was mean to them and we take them in and feed them. And half of them are spies.
At the outbreak of war, immigration rules were tightened to make it harder for German Jews to get in.
Well, thankfully that didn't have enormously genocidal repercussions for those people who could have been saved. Oh, wait.
Had to know someone who was willing to pay for your bed and board, or you had to work as a domestic servant, no matter what work you did before the war. And Germans, Italians and Austrians, some of whom had lived in Britain for years, were interned in camps across the country.
Yep.
And this killed people. One ship of internees called the Arandora was torpedoed by a German U-boat. The British government eventually paid £30,000 in compensation to alien internees. So when it came to helping the poor, or sheltering refugees...
Yeah. This is... You know what? This is still a palate cleanser compared to the hippy dippy. True. Literally true. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that with No Justice at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, it is still a palate cleanser compared to the hippy dippy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is fucking God. That one guy, he was getting off some serious Hitler particles. Bad news, that one. Anyway, yeah, if you wanted to fund my continued debate bro antics, you can hit the follow button and subscribe and do bits messages. These are things you can do.
Blitz spirit was perhaps lacking, but sometimes Blitz spirit didn't even extend to your neighbours. Again, of course, you can find lots of examples of people really looking out for each other in any children's book or museum exhibition, but what I wasn't taught is that sometimes Britons were really savage to each other in ways they hadn't been before the war started. Imagine not only having your house bombed, but then the few things you had left being pinched by the neighbours you were supposed to be pulling together with, or by the wardens who were meant to be helping you. Reverend John Markham in Walworth, who was helping at bomb sites, often had to have bodies guarded so their clothes and jewellery weren't stolen off their fingers.
Jesus Christ.
He spoke to one victim of an air raid.
Some bleeder, she cried, has nicked a couple of pounds of bacon from my meat safe.
I do not think that she knew that her husband's dead body lay a few yards away.
Looters came in all flavours. Passers-by who saw something on the floor and pocketed it, ARP wardens, police officers, even ambulance crews who helped themselves while clearing wreckages, and gangs who systematically stripped everything from evacuated buildings, including bathtubs, fruit trees, and the lead on the roof. In general, crime went up by a whopping 57%. Things got so bad that courts set aside whole days just to try looters, and Parliament debated whether or not to appoint a director of anti-looting. In some ways, rather than pulling together, Britons really turned on each other during the war. Another aspect of Blitz spirit is the idea that Britain somehow stood alone during the war, or at least during the months between the fall of France and the entry of the US.
We got
that Britain truly shined when she has
Hello,
no
Danny.
foreign allies to pander to. Britain still had a massive empire at the time,
True.
of course. We used it. We received colossal amounts of aid in the form of both cash donations and men from empire countries like Nigeria, Burma, and Hong Kong. Without wheat from Canada, there would have certainly been starvation in Britain. The US gave us $31.4 billion worth of food, weapons, and oil under the Lend-Lease Act. Nearly 600 of the...
No, you didn't. America, we don't owe America nothing. We did it all ourselves. And Canadian wheat.
pilots that flew during the Battle of Britain were from other countries. Some from other countries in the British Empire, like Canada, Australia, and Southern Rhodesia. Some refugees sent from German-controlled countries, like Poland and Czechoslovakia. So in what we call our finest hour, rather than standing alone, we reached out to and received help from other countries all over the world. But surely on the home front, everyone did all they could to help the war effort, right? Everybody pitched in and did their part because everyone wanted nothing more than to beat the Nazis. Wrong. Some people were resentful and defiant of authorities' calls to take shelter during air raids and refused to follow guidelines. Vera Britton writes about a taxi driver who proudly told her he slept in his top floor flat every night rather than go down to the shelter. Unless it has my name on it, it won't get me.
Yeah.
The fact that lots
Some
of
things
bodies
never
were pulled
change.
out of upper story bedrooms suggests that this thinking got many people killed. As the war went on, some people refused or forgot to black out their windows and stopped bothering about keeping their gas mask with them.
Some of us have been inclined to forget about our gas masks. It may be a little irksome at first, but you'll soon get used to it. Here in the Ministry of Home Security, we try to set an example.
Exactly, the bombs are a hoax. True.
Again, this doesn't really jibe with our picture of Britons as all pulling together and pitching into the war effort. But I think for me, the biggest component of Blitz spirit is high morale in the face of desperate circumstances. So, was morale unusually high during the Blitz? We have to remember that a lot of the media we see about the Blitz was created under strict propaganda rules created by the British government.
True.
Newspapers were heavily censored in order to keep secrets and preserve morale. They were not allowed to publish stories about people going to pieces or children being blinded by shrapnel. Instead, films like London Can Take It showed housewives smiling amid the wreckage of their houses. People were told, your courage, your cheerfulness, your resolution will bring us victory. Side note, this poster's more famous sister, Keep Calm and Carry On, was actually very rarely used during the war. Although there were posters designed specifically to keep up morale, most of them were asking for something more specific. Join the ATS, buy defence bonds, save your bones. I need your bones. When photographers were able to show devastation,
I've got a bone for you. Oh, I'm starting to sober up and it doesn't feel good.
it was generally by showing life carrying on as normal even through the rubble. For example, this photo by Fred Morley purportedly shows a milkman steadfastly delivering his round amongst a bum-strewn landscape. But it's a fake. This man wasn't a milkman at all, he was posing for the camera. Morley just wanted to get around the censors and show the bomb damage. If you look at newspapers or newsreels from the time, you will see a strong insistence that everyone's morale is resolutely high. But if you think about what was happening on the ground during the war, not what you see in the official propaganda films, but in real people's accounts, to suggest that everyone carried on smiling after witnessing some of this horror would be unhuman. Even if you were sleeping in your own bed and not a cold, noisy shelter, to have bombing raids every night for months on end would make you sleep deprived. Even if you were untouched by bombing, rationing rules were oppressive and depressing. You weren't allowed to have a bath deeper than 5 inches or feed bread to birds. Every night you'd go into a shelter not knowing what would still be standing when you came out in the morning. You'd worry about being buried alive under rubble or about losing your children. And for this there is no better evidence than the first-hand accounts of people who lived it. The MP Harold Nicholson lived in Kent, which would be the first place the Germans came to if they invaded from France. In a letter to his wife, Vita, on the 26th of May 1940, he talks quite calmly about getting suicide pills for them both.
To be quite sure that you are not put to any humiliation, I think you really ought to have a bare bodkin so that you can take your quietus when necessary. I shall have one also. I'm not in the least afraid of such sudden and honourable death. What I dread is being tortured and humiliated.
A Lambeth ARP warden called Stanley Rothwell attended an Anderson shelter that had been hit.
I could see what looked like treacle sliding down the wall. During training, I had instructed my men to treat the dead with reverence and respect, but I did not think we would have to shovel them up.
Ugh.
This is a side of warfare that is unglorious, a side of war that gets no medals, a side of war that if the bemedaled glory boys who wield the power, if they had to have it, would change their tunes.
To suggest that everyone was fine during the war, that there was no trauma, no mental health issues, that everyone kept calm and carried on, singing Vera Lynn songs in the face of shoveling the flesh of your neighbour up off the floor, with the threat of falling into Nazi hands looming over your head, is patently absurd. However, what does seem to be true is that civilians in the Blitz didn't develop shell shock in the same numbers that, say, soldiers in World War I had. Dr. C.P. Blacker, who did a survey of British psychiatric facilities during the war, said, "There is no grounds for supposing that the war has caused an increase in the more serious forms of mental disorder requiring admission to hospital. Cases of neurosis attributed by psychiatrists to air raids are astonishingly few." No one's quite sure why, but it might have had something to do with the fact that normal life did carry on around you, unlike in a combat situation. You didn't really have any choice but to keep calm and carry on. What else could you do? Most people...
Good fucking mental. Freak out session. Let's go.
Although they may have seen bombed out buildings, did not see genuinely gruesome things like body parts. These were quickly screened off by ARP wardens and ambulance crews at the scene. Also, the true number of people experiencing psychological problems was probably largely undercounted as people were evacuated and moved around without a count being made. Most GPs didn't know much about mental health in the 1940s, and they'd probably just give you a brandy rather than send you to a psychiatrist. And most ordinary people didn't know much about mental health in the 1940s, so they wouldn't know to seek help for it, even if they needed it. And there is lots of genuine evidence for a Blitz spirit in accounts from the time. There never was a large-scale breakdown of public morale. There were no massive anti-war protests, no organised disobedience against the rules on rationing or blackouts, and the government remained fairly popular throughout. And there are some incredible stories of people keeping their chin up in desolate circumstances. People chalked their shop fronts with messages such as "bombed but not beaten," "more open than usual," or "Hitler can't stop us."
More open than usual. It's delightful. That is, I have to say, kudos on that one. That is delicious.
Locals organised to help their neighbours. At that Tilbury shelter we talked about with the West End tourists, local women appointed themselves shelter marshals, bringing in jugs of fresh water, and a Jewish doctor volunteered his services as a first aider. Across the country, there was food delivered to the homeless, scarves knitted for soldiers, and evacuee children given homes. Ministry of Information worker Jean Crossley wrote,
"Business as usual was the survivors' reaction to air raids. This was not something imposed on us by government decree. Each one of us, no matter to what class of society we belonged, instinctively rebelled against allowing Hitler, that silly little man with a toothbrush moustache, to rule our lives. It was a feeling that united the nation as never before or since."
never real, I do think the Blitz spirit idea has been helpful to me personally. When lockdown started in this country, there was panic buying going on, and as a household, we talked about whether or not we should also stock up. And what decided me against it was thinking about Blitz spirit. If my grandparents can live through years of rationing, I can go a few months without pasta. Of course, it was barely a sacrifice at all, but if we had gone out and stocked up, we might have taken supplies away from someone who needed them, and the idea of Blitz spirit helped me not to do that. But I hope I have demonstrated that, in fact, the story we imagine didn't play out as neatly as we sometimes pretend. As always, the truth is more complicated.
That's
of
if
course
there's
there are stories.
anything to take away from any of the content I've ever done is that it's more complicated than that. That's always the thing to remember. When someone's trying to sell you a neat line, when someone's trying to tell you that it's a very simple story, it very, very rarely ever is. Human life is such a complex thing. Each individual human is so complex, right? We know from your own experience how unbelievably complex and difficult and weird you are as a person. Now times that by 1 million people, or 20 million, or 50, or 100, or 1 billion people, and you get a society. How can there be a simple answer in those conditions? There can't. Not really.
Of some people helping their neighbours and making tremendous sacrifices. Let me be clear, if your great aunt saved a child from a burning building, or your granddad led sing-songs of Knees Up Mother Brown in his shelter, that is great, and I'm certainly not arguing those things didn't happen or that we shouldn't be proud of them. But when I was learning about the war, those stories were the only kinds that I heard. I didn't hear the equally true stories of people distrusting Jewish refugees because they had German accents, or looting their neighbours' houses, or failing to build adequate shelters because only poor people need them anyway. People reacted in lots of complicated, messy ways that don't necessarily fit the story of a Blitz spirit. Despite that, it is an incredibly powerful narrative, and not one I think I can undo in a YouTube video, although I hope you will now think twice when you hear it. People get really defensive about the myth of the Blitz, and even angry if you question it, as if you're insulting their grandparents. If this...
I don't even think it's about their grandparents. I think it's about them. Honestly, I genuinely think people take a vicarious glory from those days, and that in the same way that so much of nationalism is about reflected glory of other people's achievements, or a collective achievement that you're taking credit for yourself, a lot of people today see the country as being shit and mythologize this great past, and so if you're attacking that, you're attacking the very core of them as such. Do you know? It's a very personal thing for them because they've externalized their own sense of self-worth or whatever onto a country or onto a mythology. Very sad.
were a discussion about historical facts, I don't think people would get so attached. It's how you can use that historical narrative politically that carries so much weight with people. You will see the Blitz spirit invoked all the time in the media. Many commentators have compared the lockdown to the Second World War.
Designing and implementing the furlough scheme and processing a six-fold increase in universal credit claims, all while transforming into a home-based organisation overnight, is a perfect example of the Blitz spirit.
The actor Jason Alexander
I'm losing to a bird!
tweeted,
In World War II, Londoners were asked to black out their homes at night, so the enemy bombers wouldn't see the lights and know where to target. No Londoner said, "It's my right to have my lights on."
and even our Minister for Health, Matt Hancock, made the comparison.
Our generation has never been tested like this. Our grandparents were, during the Second World War, when our cities were bombed during the Blitz. Despite the pounding every night, the rationing, the loss of life,
Who doesn't like a pounding every night? Ew.
they pulled together in one gigantic national effort. Today, our generation is facing its own test.
Blitz spirit is also invoked in discussions of Brexit, particularly by the pro-Brexit camp.
Britain helped to liberate half of Europe. Watch the way the ungrateful EU treats us now. We will remember. A no deal for our country would actually be a blessing in disguise. It would force us into hardship and suffering, which would unite and bring us together. Remainers are astonished that so many Brits are relaxed about a no-deal Brexit. But there are two good reasons why. First, we're so used to politicians lying to us that we assume the prophecies of doom are all made up. Second, and for some reason this is a very controversial thing to say, a significant slice of the population did vote on the understanding that they'd be poorer.
Jesus Christ, what a lot of shit.
I'm just fascinated to see what crashing out will be like, said a cleric. Blitz spirit and all that.
And before the referendum,
Yeah, the Soviet Union had quite a lot to do with liberating Europe as well, yeah.
Boris Johnson compared the EU to Hitler, calling on Britons to be the heroes of Europe. You can use it, and again, when I say it, I mean the idea British people were cheerful during a bombing campaign 80 years ago, to argue that a hard Brexit is good for the country, that we should deport foreigners, that Angela Merkel is not to be trusted, that there's a conspiracy to hide World War II from school children.
The day upon which the Blitz started. I wonder, what do you think, about the implications of that day, what it led to, the fact we kept our independence, kept the flame of liberty and democracy alive in Europe. I wonder whether this is being taught to every single kid in this country. I hope it is.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
Or that the British public
Why do you doubt it? On what basis do you doubt it?
reacted well to the coronavirus. I think this use of Blitz spirit comprises a rewriting of history, erasing all the messy human ways people reacted to the Blitz and replacing them with a single glorious past. But Blitz spirit is just a story, and we can tell it how we like. And I think it honours the people who lived through the Blitz better to tell it how it really happened.
True. Anyway, you get the idea. Thank you for that, whoever the fuck it was linked it an hour ago or whatever. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired. It is 3:15 in the morning. I'm going the fuck to bed. Who is going on Twitch that I can kick you over to? Pixels. Hey, we were chatting with her, so we'll go over to Pixels. She's good people. Go and say hello to her. I'll be back possibly tonight. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It depends what mood I'm in. Maybe Sunday, maybe not. Keep an ear to the ground. You'll hear me thumping. Thank you all for listening and watching, and thank you so much for all of your support. It means the world to me. You're amazing. No passer.
and that is high crimes and misdemeanors. It says high.
Kevin, can you believe I got kicked off? Honestly. Can you believe that?
In this particular case, just like with fraud,
That's not
there's
my
civil
point.
fraud,
My point
there's
is that
criminal
my
fraud.
point is that
These
my
concepts
point
have
is that
different
they
meanings
haven't
in
even
different
hit
contexts.
that threshold. My point is they haven't even hit that threshold.
Okay, so first you're just right now, and I don't know if you want to do this. You are right now currently saying and agreeing with me that criminal process is not required. So can we all agree on that? The criminal process is not required.
No,
Okay,
we
so
cannot.